kind of nonsense is this?
It's a lot of nonsense.
A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men.
When I look out my window, many sights to see. And when I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. When I look over my shoulder, what do you think I see? Some other cat looking over his shoulder at me, and he's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch, yeah. Beatniks out to make it rich. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch. You got to pick up every stitch. The rabbits running in the ditch. Beatniks out to make it rich. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch. Where'd I go? When I look out my window, what do you think I see? And when I look in my window, so many different people to be. It's strange, sure is strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. The rabbits running in the ditch. Oh no, must be the season of the
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another brand new episode of Untitled Nonsense. My name is Josh Fonner. I'm joined, as always, by Tyco. Tyco, how are you today?
What it do? I'm liking that one. No, can't keep it. Damn it! Hashtag find Tyco's intro.
What it do?
I've used that several times with a friend of mine. I thought we always what it do.
Well, there's his intro.
You stole his intro before I even introed him.
Damn.
My intro's gone. Did you know? Did you know deep down?
No.
Somewhere?
Maybe.
No?
In his heart of hearts,
The emotional
he knew.
connection.
It was. We've already bonded to this level.
And
That random voice.
another of Tycho's friends, that random voice you're hearing, is JD. JD, how are you?
Doing great. What it do? What it do? That's how you do it, by the way. What
Okay.
it do?
Okay. Thanks for showing me out, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Welcome. Glad you're here for your first time and just making me look like an idiot. Don't worry. I do a good enough job on my own every time we get on this podcast.
I won't be here all night for the next 30 minutes, and I will be humiliating him. Be ready.
So a lot of crazy shit has happened this week, and not just political stuff. I want to get off of political stuff.
I mean,
because-
we're winding down on this election anyway.
Thank God.
We could talk more about how Hillary Clinton has emails because we haven't done
Can
that
we
enough.
fucking not?
We could talk about how Trump said something offensive, which
Again?
we haven't done that enough.
Can
I haven't
we-
done any of this, so I'm down
No,
to talk about those emails.
the 5 people listening are tired of it.
I'm sure they are.
By the way, do I know any of these people?
You might.
You might, because this was my coming out episode, right?
This is your coming out episode, not in that way, but
Well, that's because John Bates isn't here, and without him, the trifecta of gay is just, Well, JD might fill in. Who
We'll
knows?
see. We'll write it out. We'll feel it out. See how it goes.
I mean, at this point, if anyone knows, how to use social media, they could easily track down who's friends with Josh Fonner, John Bates, and a guy named JD. It's Ryan Carl.
Oh.
But I am officially out of the military as of tomorrow, so whatever. But my point of view has no merit against my.
I
time
thought it
of
was on the
service anymore.
1st, though. So wouldn't that
Yeah.
be Tuesday?
Yeah, tomorrow, Tuesday. We do this podcast live.
yeah, right, live, yeah. I wish we still did it.
Oh,
live.
that's right. My bad, everybody. My bad. First time, rookie mistake.
It's fine. He's a time traveler.
I traveled through the times.
All of the time.
All of the times were traveled through to get to this one particular point of that time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if that did not add up to you, that means this podcast will save the world.
Mm.
And
why
the
else would
cheerleader?
why else would somebody travel in time to come here, JD?
Pretty much. It's a butterfly effect. I say one right thing, and
This is how Gary Johnson gets elected.
Exactly. I have just set forth into action the Gary Johnson presidency.
Now it's called the Gary Johnson effect.
The Gary Johnson
Mhm.
effect.
The name will be forever changed.
We'll coin that.
Because a butterfly flaps its wings, it's now called the Gary Johnson effect.
All right. Well, what are we talking about?
Jack Chick.
Jack Chick.
Mr. Chick.
He's dead.
Rest in peace.
Ripping pepperonis.
Rips.
He died. Mr. Chick, if you don't know who he is, he of the hateful Christian, and I use the term Christian loosely in his case.
I use the word hateful loosely. He was just a man of moral character.
You've got a point over there. You've got a point.
Dubious moral character.
I mean, he's on par with some of the greatest cartoonists to ever live.
Truly
Up
a
there with
legend.
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby is rolling in his graves for that reference. No.
Right now, Jack Kirby is probably beating the shit out of him.
Oh, hopefully.
So yes, Jack Chick of the infamous Chick Tract. I'll tell you what, I used to, when I was growing up, a young Christian boy in New Hampshire, we used to go to Christian bookstores all the time. And back in a little corner of the Christian bookstore, hanging on a wall, they would have like one of those organizer things. that had all the little chick tracts in them.
Really?
And I used to sit in the corner, and I was probably like 7, 8 years old. I used to sit in the corner while my mom was browsing all the Christian living books and that kind of thing and read the chick tracts, and it would scare the living fuck out of me.
So would you say that thanks to Jack Chick, he inspired your love for comic books?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, he inspired my love for. He might have turned me goth. He might have turned me goth.
Did he, at a young age, did you become suddenly scared of boners? and the devil's spirit making them rise?
I'll be honest, I had never heard of this guy until he died.
Really?
Yep.
Had you heard of the chick tract before he died?
No.
Seriously?
Never made it into my circles, I guess.
Wow.
I had forgotten, I'm not going to lie, I had forgotten about him, but I didn't realize, like, I was familiar with the cartoons. I just did not know them as chick tracts. They were just, like, horrible Christian cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, he died, and I'm like, that was him. Okay, well then, the world just became a brighter place. That's horrible to say. I don't wish death upon anyone.
Except for him.
But he is gone now, and probably better off at this point.
I mean, it's really rough to say that, I know, but like it's.
Well, I read that his team, creative, I don't know, publishers are going to continue on.
Creative, using the term loosely.
Using the term loosely, they're going to continue on with the same vision and same message.
I didn't
forward.
even know they kept putting out new ones. Like, what is there? Well, I suppose
I believe they are.
As long as there are like cell phones and computers and ways the devil can trap people, I suppose there are ways the chick
Facebook
trap
games.
Yeah, that's true. Farmville, you're farming the devil.
Selling your soul for that patch of land.
That's not entirely inaccurate, though.
It's not. It really is not. That's why I never sold my soul to it. If you're going to go for that, you trade up and you play something better.
Mafia Wars. Oh, did I just
there
date myself? Is Mafia Wars even still a thing?
I don't even know, although I did used to play it every fucking day.
I hated that. It was like, oh, go friend request 800 people. I'm like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to talk to 2 people.
I just want my 3 friends, and that's it. I had some random friend, Abdu Amik Shamar, just so that way I could get my fancy car in Mafia Wars. And I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know.
I think I can add him now that I'm out of the military.
Maybe.
You had to disavow all knowledge once you went in.
All knowledge of anyone named Abu.
All your 7-Eleven contacts went bye-bye.
Fun story.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
When I did join, I had to admit to smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to admit to who I smoked it with. And either tell them, yeah, no, they've changed their ways and they no longer smoke weed, or yeah, no, and it was people that I didn't care about, right? So yeah, no, their path in life is just a sad, sorry, dark one filled with the marijuanas. I had to delete them off of Facebook. Oh.
Anyone that injects the marijuanas must be purged.
Purged from my wall.
Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, with Jack Chick dying, maybe we won't have as many anti-Christian, anti-Halloween tracks coming out. I know they said they're going to keep doing the tracks, but maybe there won't be as many anti-Halloween things coming out of Christianity, which is good.
Yeah,
because that was one of the big things that my mom was against. I wasn't allowed to do Halloween.
You as a goth weren't allowed to do Halloween.
I wasn't allowed to be goth until I was 18.
No.
Like, my mom didn't know I was goth. Like, I didn't buy my first eyeliner until I turned 18.
Well, you didn't live.
I know! Like
at 16, or maybe it was 17, I bought eyeliner, condoms, and a Toby Keith CD at Walmart.
You don't want to know what I bought at 16.
That's a hell of a party over there.
You knew me at that time.
I did.
Eyeliner, condoms, and Toby Keith. That's you either are gay or a girl.
Both.
I was in theater. Does that count for anything?
A little gay. Okay.
Gay. Got it.
So yeah, I wasn't allowed to do Halloween, and I wasn't allowed to be. I told my mom, like, I think I'm goth. I think I like identify most with goth. She's like, no, you don't. Don't say that.
Is that something you're born with, or is it a choice?
I'm born this way, baby.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is it
Put your
Embrace
paws
it.
up.
Is it? Oh God.
Wait, what?
Lady Gaga reference.
That's a lady.
For those of you not fans of Lady Gaga. Clearly I am. I'm gay, so.
Yay.
I think I just outed myself too, so
That's fine.
yeah.
We have really
Not that-
nice and attractive beards, though. Although
like
I think I'm just a lipstick, too.
Oh my.
JD's sitting over here like, well, what is
Oh
going on?
my.
I'm
No,
learning
it took me
way
it
too
took me
many
way too long to realize beard. I was like, wait, beards.
Oh,
Wow. Oh, yeah.
JD's like, Josh doesn't have a beard.
I'm
What's
still
going
trying to wrap my
on?"
head around lipsticks right now. I'm not.
It's the lesbian equivalent.
Oh gosh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. This is all clicking now. All right.
My wife does listen to this podcast sometimes and gets maybe to around the 10-minute mark. Have we been talking for at least 10 minutes?
Yeah, we're about 12 minutes now, so she's
Cool, she turned off.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. For the best. I'm not telling anyone I know. I might.
I'm going to share it on your wall.
Oh man.
So, speaking of Halloween, University of Florida.
Yeah.
Did you hear what they're doing?
One of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard of is what they're doing.
Listen, okay, I am tolerant to a fucking fault sometimes. I have been called an SJW by more people. I have lost more friends this year than any year in my fucking life because I've been called an SJW. And this is the dumbest fucking thing. The dumbest fucking thing that I can think of.
Somebody dressed as a clown and it gave me PTSD from when that clown
It's
touched
not
me.
even that.
Trigger.
It's because of shit like, oh, I'm Native American and they wore a headdress and now I'm offended.
Wow.
Cultural
I did-
appropriation.
I did not read that far into it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need counseling because they wore Native American headdress and I'm Native American and I'm offended and
So my wife and I were talking about this today, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm, as three privileged white males that we are,
right, of course.
what can they dress as to represent us? And she brought up maybe a pot belly and a stained t-shirt, and we're like, oh, I beat my wife and kids. But she's like, but that's not even white. That's country. Like, how do you culturally appropriate?
You could dress up in a blue military uniform and carry around what looks like a Native American's head.
That's true.
That's not offensive at all to me.
That's
You can't
just a
offend me.
Monday.
That's just celebrating our history. But yeah, it's totally ridiculous because
It is.
I want to study psychology myself, and there is this thing where if you counsel people for something as ridiculous as this, like it's an actual triggering event with PTSD and so many implications, you're empowering them to have a real issue when there isn't one.
So they're doing it for attention now. And you, by offering the counseling, you're saying they could be triggered to an actual condition.
Yeah, like they could actually start to think that they need to be triggered by the fact that
To-
someone wore a stupid costume.
To like actual histrionic personality disorder. Like
Yeah,
Wow.
before this Halloween, there might be some people there who were like, "Oh, someone dressed up as a Seminole, whatever." But now they're like, "I have Native American heritage, and I find this so offensive." And they're counseling me. Maybe I do have a problem. And now all of a sudden they're gonna have like serious moments because
Huh.
they think they need to be having an issue with it. And I just think that's so stupid. Like I understand if like, oh wow, 6 people just got shot right in front of you. Yeah,
Right.
provide
Yeah,
some counseling. Like holy crap, that
Yeah.
is definitely a huge moment. And there's
Sir, I
couldn't even
saw 6 people shot and,
suck
and
it
my
up.
pants just fell down and I masturbated. Is there something wrong with me?
no, slow down, tell me more.
Just sitting over there in the corner, just real serious. This is real difficult to masturbate to.
Challenge accepted.
Like I couldn't even understand like if there was an incident where a bunch of people went in blackface and you
yeah,
had
well,
a
that was
big
the other
problem.
thing. I said, like, if you're wearing a kimono and like have the the geisha dress. Is that called a kimono? It's the same thing, right? Am I just a
The-
racist, ignorant asshole?
The kimono is the robe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then they did the face paint. Does that add a new layer? Is that now racist?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Which costume are you talking? Like the
Like if they dress up as a geisha girl.
You know, they did I read another article about this. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to find these
No,
articles
go-
sometimes.
Yeah.
But they did an
Verify.
article about that. The Japanese people that, you know, when they were talking about the kimonos, they said American Japanese people were extremely offended by white people wearing kimonos. But the actual Japanese people in Japan were like, no, that's sharing our culture. Why not?
Right.
We should show them how to wear it and share it. And then
Yeah.
we're all one people.
Right. I don't think wearing the
Like-
kimonos is a big deal. But
No,
like,
but even
but
the
if you did
geisha, they actually provide over there a thing where you can go dress in face paint and everything, be a geisha. And they
so the face paint even.
Yeah, the whole deal. You can do the whole thing, be a geisha for a day. It's a whole package.
Oh, that proves my
And
point.
most of them are like, you know, it's about culture. When you do it, you learn more about it, you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But if you just ban it and say you're not allowed to do it, you're not Japanese. Like
Well, that's why
that separates you, and that creates racism in itself.
that's why I think
that I can absolutely see. If there is a culture that is like, well, you know, we're trying to share it, that's a different story than if like
even
Native Americans are like, well, it's war paint, that's for a different use than what you're using it for. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, geisha were also assassins. I mean,
Well,
that could be. I don't know. Well, I guess, I mean, the war paint, I guess you could say it's cultural appropriation. But also it is, yeah. Because it will, I mean, to a Native
Even-
American that understands it would be like, you do realize you're painted up to go kill people. Like, that's
Yeah, it's-
that's kind of, but that's also a moment where you shouldn't say, that's ours, don't do it. You should walk up to them and say, you know, that's about killing people. I don't really think you should do
Well,
a
the
different
thing of
face
it is-
thing. You should do something else.
But
thing of
I
it is, the
dressed up as
difference is-
Michael Myers for Halloween, and I'm intending to go out like, well, I'm not.
Well,
actually
the thing of
intending
it
to
is,
go out and kill
Native
people,
American
but-
tribes, Native
This is
American
true.
tribes actually say, don't do that shit,
Yeah.
as opposed to
Japan.
Japan
Yeah.
saying, share in this with
Yeah.
us.
Well, my wife had brought up a point because we go to the conventions and stuff, and we see people dress up as everything, and you know
Mhm.
we've seen black girls doing Harley Quinn, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in my wife's mind, she's gonna get really upset when Moana comes out. She said, I understand that I'm being ridiculous, but when I start to see all these girls at Comic-Cons dressing up as Moana, these white girls dressing up as Moana, I'm gonna be a little bit upset because this is the first thing I get to look up to, the character I get to have as a Hawaiian,
I understand that.
and now everyone's just gonna be copying it. Harley Quinn's one thing that's not racially,
It's not
well,
a
because
racially
it's
charged character.
because it's white.
but
though.
Moana is a Disney princess soon.
Mhm.
But she's the Hawaiian. I guess it's what's the girl
But I thought
from?
she's Polynesian.
Yeah,
That's not Hawaiian.
yeah.
You silly,
But it's
silly boy.
it's the same mythos as the Hawaiian mythos. One of their islands is named after The Rock's character. Come on, man. But I know.
It's named Dwayne?
I mean, they have cultural similarities.
Yeah, I think there's Kauai, there's Maui, there's
Jabberoni?
Oahu, Jabroni, and
Jabro-
Dwayne. And those are the islands in Hawaii. I'm pretty sure.
There they are.
I'm getting hit for that today.
But I guess if a culture says, please don't do this particular thing, then because it has a certain significance, like obviously I wouldn't want to do something that was like, you don't want to dress up as, well, no, I can't even say that.
Well, then what's the intention of you dressing up too? Because
I think intent definitely plays a big part.
But I think
yeah,
if
if
you
you're-
know that they don't want you to do it and you go ahead and do it anyway, you're just being an ass.
Exactly. Like blackface. Blackface is a great example of that.
Hmm.
You know what the fuck you're doing if you do blackface.
But what about
And you know they don't want you to do it.
exactly?
You
and
know
that's,
black people don't want you
that,
to do it.
and I believe putting on blackface. There's no way that you're doing that to show your appreciation.
Exactly.
It is mockery.
It's minstrelsy.
Whereas
period.
you see the Maori, how the fuck do you say
Moana.
that? That one, Maori warriors.
Those
you
guys,
have
never mind.
you even in New Zealand, you have white guys that dress up at it as it for remembering their friends. The intent is to honor their friends. It's not to mock them. It's not to make a joke.
I do think intent does play part of it. So
Yeah.
there is an intent versus impact.
But what is
Part
Halloween?
of
Is the intent to be comical? Is the intent to be scary? Is
There's-
the intent
there's
to
part-
be unique?
Yeah, there's the thing there. The intent is different. So
If I put on a fat suit, and now this isn't making fun of you, but in all honesty, if I put on a fat suit for not being a like fat bastard or an actual character. I just put it on to be like, oh, I dressed up as fat me. Is that kind of fat shaming? Is that mockery to you?
If you dressed up as
I'm
fat
a skinny straight white guy. Like I got nothing to be offended by. I have way too much privilege. I'm oozing privilege. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I love my privilege, but don't take it away from me.
What? You don't feel like your privilege is being taken away?
Hashtag all lives matter. Oh, wait, no. Get back to my people. No.
What? What? You're not enraged and offended by your privilege being by it being taken away, by things being taken away from you as
by
a
people
poor
also
white
wanting
man?
equal privileges? Oh man, look at me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I should be more offended by things, but
I'm so offended right now.
so offended.
My privilege is being trampled.
Would that upset you if I did that though?
I mean,
But we're friends. What if it was some random dude you saw? He was like, "I'm fat me for Halloween."
it wouldn't offend me, but it'd just be stupid.
But I mean,
Because I don't get offended. Like, offended isn't a word in my vocabulary.
well, that's true.
Like, it's stupid. Like, there's
So many better costumes to be.
yeah, it's why would you do that?
And it's almost kind of,
Because it's funny.
it's almost like a douchey stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just kind of being a
Oh
little
no, I
bit of a
agree. If
dick.
I saw a dude that was like, "I'm fat me for Halloween," I'd be like, "That is."
I mean, I wouldn't go full
So
out.
you're uninventive? Is
Yeah.
that what we're going?
I wouldn't put on my war paint and go Justice Warrior on them, but I
Right,
kind of
yeah.
look at them and be like, no, you're dumb. And then just like walk away. Like,
Right.
That
Yeah.
dude that dresses up as fat himself at the bar is also the guy who's like, "More shots,
Yeah.
yep.
Exactly.
Jaeger bombs, dude."
Yeah.
Vote Trump.
So yeah, I mean that's the thing. I just think University of Florida is going too far, and it's stupid
Yeah.
to
And you-
offer counseling for people offended
a-
by incidents
it's a
with
waste of
Halloween.
fun.
And you should do it as a retroactive thing, not proactively. You don't just sit there and assume everyone's going to be traumatized by some costumes. Like,
Right.
if it's after the fact, someone, like you said earlier, like if a group of people ran through as KKK people with like fake lynch dolls. All
That's
right,
a different
there
story.
you go.
Yeah.
Now you come on in with some counselors
I'm
and say,
scared
yo,
for my life. That
yeah,
these
come on
assholes
in,
are
let's
out
talk
here.
about this.
Yeah.
But not to proactively say it because, we think someone might do something stupid out there.
Right.
Like this, every day something stupid happens. Get over it. America's not a safe zone.
Yeah. It's this
Or
idea.
your safe space. Sorry, safe space.
Well, yeah, it's this idea that is starting to permeate academia.
Well, they're
that
scared.
college campuses are supposed to be safe spaces entirely.
Well, but I've even seen, thoughts on college teachers where they said before they would take the stance opposite of the students. If they had a very liberal class, they would take the conservative stance. Not that that was necessarily reflective of their own, but that was teaching them how to debate. Mind you, this was a critical thinking class that they were teaching. So this is stuff that they had to do. I'm going to give you arguments, you dissect my arguments, dissect your own arguments. He said over the course of the last 15, 20 years, he's now finding it harder to teach these because he'll take on the conservative stance and all of a sudden, I'm offended. I'm reporting you to the dean. One student's not bad. Two students starts to get like, maybe this guy's has a problem. You have three students like that all complain in the same year about your lesson. Well, clearly the students are the ones paying the money. So
Right,
And
yeah.
it's not that they're getting fired, but he's seen his friends get reprimanded. He's seen things happen because the schools don't know how to handle it.
Right.
What do you do? Three people complained about you. Something's got to happen, right?
Yeah,
Three
and if
people-
more and more
Yeah.
complaints start piling up in your folder, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
it
the
went
dean
public-
supposed to do?
It went public on Tumblr, and now the media is upset about it, and it's half the information of what really happened. But
in all honesty, I feel bad for the deans
oh no, yeah, I'm not
because
blaming the
they
team.
they tend to they have to do something.
Yeah, so this is just one of those knee-jerk reactions of like, I mean, like you said, it should be reaction, but how do we know that last year 3 or 4 students didn't come up and complain that you need to send me to counseling because of it, and they didn't need it. It's the same. I'm sorry, this might get me in trouble with some of our gay community members, but the couple that went into the bakery and sued the
Mhm.
woman for not baking the cake, they didn't need to buy a cake from her. They could have gone
Right.
one store over and
Agreed.
she lost out on money. But instead, no, we have to make a point. we don't know if these students did that last year.
Mhm.
You didn't offer me counseling because I saw a Native American costume. Well, we need to make a point. We're going to fight up to the school board. Are there
Agreed.
school boards? Board of deans? Board of directors? They're for-profit colleges.
It's kind of UF isn't. UF is public.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it is a public school.
But it's kind of an impossible situation for a lot of the administration because, at the one hand, you want to keep it academic,
Mhm.
and you have to keep open circulation of ideas, even if they're bad ideas, because
Right.
that's part of academia.
Mhm.
But
As long as they're not hurtful.
depends on your definition of hurtful, kind of. Define hurtful, what do you mean?
Like inciting of violence or that kind of thing.
Well, even there's such a huge gray area. But
Well-
yeah, no, you shouldn't be leading a rally saying, let's go beat the crap out of all the people in Building 3. Like, yeah, no, we should probably stop that one right
Building
there.
3, the gay building, or the black building?
I thought it was the
Both.
gay black building. But I just totally lost my train of thought on that because now I'm just thinking about a rally to go beat up the gay black building.
So sorry.
But no, and sometimes they end up having to pander to this small number, like you said, those 3 or 4 people that complained. But now with social media, those 3 to 4 people can gain a voice from people not even at the school
Don't know the
who will just
situation.
pick up
Yeah.
the torch for them, and then suddenly you've got 100,000 emails pouring into your inbox, and you just want to make it go away.
And all the
And you're
subject
getting
lines
pressure
are-
from someone who's higher up saying they don't know the full story either, but they're in charge, and they're like, make it stop.
Yeah.
So you have to make it stop.
Someone who's higher up. I bet the Jews did this.
You're damn right it was the Jews.
the
Or
Jewish mafia?
was it maybe it was the Jewish mafia? Maybe it was. Do we have an expert on the Jewish mafia?
You know who I bet Alex Jones could tell us about this.
Oh, I bet.
I think he has.
Over and over and over again. But he's not against the Jews.
Of course not.
He's just against the Jewish mafia.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm not homophobic. I just don't like gay people.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying all Jews are part of the Jewish mafia?
Well, obviously.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. It's a little obvious. It's
I'm not homophobic, but I think that gay pride parade needs to stop.
I'm not racist.
But I hate gangs.
I just don't like niggers.
Oh,
Like-
Okay, I feel uncomfortable now.
that bomb just got dropped, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, that's the same. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it is. Unless you subscribe to Chris Rock's idea about the difference.
And he hates that bit now.
Yeah, he does.
He wishes he never did that bit
Yeah,
because it's used by racists to justify
their hate.
their hate of black people.
Yeah.
He wishes he never did that.
I had a feeling when he did that one was going to backfire eventually.
Mhm.
Like, I got it, but then again, I'm not racist, so it was just kind of funny to me, but it was like, yeah, some racist is really going to spin that one to their
Mhm.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yup. So yeah, Alex Jones, he has come out stating that the Jewish mafia runs all this shit.
Yeah.
Is that like the Amish mafia?
I was actually going to ask, when are we going to get the Jewish Mafia ETV show?
Mm.
Or is it on, like,
That needs to
Lifestyle
happen.
now?
I don't know
Oi.
why it hasn't happened yet. Maybe they're just that secretive. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe the reptilian lords are watching
Is that
over
like
them.
the Jewish mafia? Are they gonna make you an offer that's much less than you were expecting?
I got no good retort. That was good on its own. Give you that one, man.
I don't even know who even uses the word mafia anymore. Like, that's not even really like
The Amish.
the crime lords now are. It's basically it's like the bankers and stuff. It's the people with the crap ton of money, and they're legally doing it in the system. That's your crime lords now. You don't have like I don't
Tell
know.
that to the Bloods and the Crips, man.
Wake up with a bunch of borscht in your bed.
You don't have like Joe Maggiano. I don't know. I'm making up some name that sounds
Gonna be swimming with the hummus. What?
yeah, swimming with that hummus.
What does that mean?
That's the Greek mob right there.
I thought everybody universally agreed on hummus.
Yeah, but it's mostly Greek. Yeah, I don't know.
That was the Greeks.
Swimming with the
Jews, Arabs,
falafel.
all of
I don't
them.
Joey Goldberg doesn't get that picture.
Oh man.
Uh,
And Alex Jones is he's had some enlightening comments besides just this one.
What was the one he had last week where he was like crying? He literally cried on his show because America was being destroyed by the demonic forces,
yeah,
and that Hillary Clinton is literally
a reptilian.
a reptilian
Right?
demon thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh, a
And he
demon.
cried.
Uh-huh.
He cried.
Like
I can't watch my country do this.
Oh,
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was just fantastic.
He's enlightening.
I think if you could bottle those tears and sell them, they'd probably be so delicious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Feed them to our reptilian overlords. We got a guy.
That's how they replenish their energy sources.
They feed off the tears.
Leave the gun,
tears
take
of
the macaroons.
Yeah.
The tears of Alex Jones will replenish them like no other.
Yeah, they lived off of Glenn Beck's tears for so long, but he's turned to the dark side. He's a Hillary supporter, so now they got Alex
Oh,
Jones.
gosh,
You
Glenn
come to me on the
Beck.
day of my daughter's bat mitzvah, and you ask me for a favor.
They don't circumcise the daughters on the bar mitzvah, do they?
They don't circumcise the daughters at all.
Some
The
do.
Africans.
Yeah,
That's
actually.
that's female genital mutilation.
And what's
This isn't the Green
circumcision, man?
Inferno, you asshole.
They're mutilating penises out there. That's genital mutilation.
Same thing. Oh, man.
Wow.
We're good at this.
So
This is good.
So, I know we said we weren't going to talk about politics, but we got a little bit of politics stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of touched on politics. I mean, we talked about Hillary being a demon. We talked about the
That's true.
reptilian overlord.
Yeah,
That's true.
politics.
But I mean, we've
Politics.
already got a case of voter fraud in the 2016 election.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One person wanted to vote twice.
One person did vote twice,
Oh,
and I hope
She did.
she did vote twice, and I hope she liked it because she's. I mean, it's going to be the last time she votes once
Yeah.
she gets a Class D felony on her record.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
and she was voting for Hillary Clinton, right? Because it was clearly the liberals that are the targets.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I
Hillary
hope she
Clinton?
liked her 2 votes for Trump.
Oh, she was a Trump supporter.
She was.
Surprise,
How
surprise.
Uh huh. And you know why she did it?
Because the system is rigged.
Because the polls are rigged.
How does that even make
Exact
sense?
Quote.
The polls are rigged. The polls aren't the election.
I'm gonna
It's
rig
a poll.
the election because the election is rigged.
Mm-hmm. You counter rig it.
How's
What
that
came
for
first?
circular reasoning?
That's a Class A example, actually.
That is. Definition of circular reasoning. Please see circular reasoning.
It's kind of perfect.
It's just so ridiculous, though. And then all the Trump supporters are probably cheering her on like she's some sort of hero, and
yeah,
it's like,
they're the ones
no.
that they're warning about this, and they're
Yeah.
probably like, no, she did the right thing.
Yeah, she's doing it because they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Where's your proof? What is it? We've had like 18 cases of proven voter fraud in the last 20 years or something.
like that, yeah.
It's
And now
insanely
19.
low. Yeah, 19 now.
And she said she wasn't planning on doing it. It was a spur of the moment thing.
How do you? Not
Shit,
that
no,
I'm gonna
you wanna know?
try, but if we can get 3 votes for Gary Johnson in Florida, I might go out of my way.
Mm.
I
I mean, to be fair, down here, are they
Gary's-
really even going to stop you? They're going to be like, for him? Come on. All right.
I mean, considering Gary's not going to run in 2020, you might as well get 3 votes in now.
Right?
Yeah. Why not?
Considering that that's 3 votes for Gary Johnson in Florida, where it means nothing.
But
They'll
if
be
he,
like,
but
you
if,
know, you've been sitting here all day.
but if he gets
I'm
that
sure you can do this
5%,
as
guys,
much as you want, buddy.
he just-
Like-
he just needs 5%. 5% needs a major party. Let's get him to 5.
Do you want to give him the 5?
Hashtag believe.
Hashtag bless.
So I guess that lady, maybe it'll come out later when she says it was spur of the moment that she felt something move within her, that it was the Holy Spirit.
Ooh.
Because we all know
moved within her.
the spirit of Trump just moved within her. You could say that he grabbed her
How old was she?
by the pussy.
Oh, she's an older lady.
Okay, so it doesn't have the semen of sperm, semen of Trump in
Semen
her.
of Trump. Definitely
No.
not. No, because look at her.
Yeah.
No, he took a grab
she's not,
for the votes.
She's not 13 then.
No.
Mm.
Definitely not.
He goes on trial for that in December.
Yep.
December
that's
for
just-
statutory rape. No, let's put him in office before then. That's a great idea. Can he pardon himself?
He won't be in office December 8th. Doesn't
Okay.
take office till January.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
So he won't be inaugurated. He will have zero
Obama
power.
will pardon him though, right?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
totally. They're buddies.
Sure.
They're totally down with each other.
Speaking of Trump, though, can we bring up the throwing out one of his own supporters on a
Oh
rally?
my gosh. Yes.
So Donald,
I'm face palming.
so Donald Trump had
Holy
a
crap.
the house
supporter.
boy got thrown out of Candyland.
Yeah, he was a black supporter, And Trump looked at him and said, "Did they pay you $1,500 to be here? Get this thug out of here." And the man still, I believe, believes in Trump.
Yeah.
And his reasoning, because Trump is at least honest, and you can
hate that.
You can work with an honest man to change his viewpoints, but you can't work with a dishonest person.
You can work with an honest man that kicked you out and didn't let you defend your point. Like, you didn't even get to say, no, I really support you.
And clearly, you
How
can
much-
work with Trump.
How much did he get to work with them?
I mean,
He
Trump's
was-
shown, Trump has shown great listening skills when it comes to his advisors to tell him stop making offensive comments, because
Obviously. He's nailed that so far.
Oh, yeah, totally nailed it.
But I mean, in Trump's defense, though, I mean, how was he supposed to know that he had any black supporters?
I mean, even the people holding the black supporters for Trump signs at his rallies have been white.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I saw the
It was this
Hispanic,
little white lady just like holding up this black.
I
Trump
saw
supporters
the
thing.
Hispanic voters for Trump, and they were all a bunch of white people.
No, there was recently a picture. It was at a Trump rally, right behind the podium. This little old white lady holding up a sign, "Black supporters for Trump" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little old white lady.
Yep.
Well, at least they didn't say Negro supporter Trump. Those colored people are voting for
Pigs
Trump.
beating
I got to
Chitlin
sign
right
the
over here,
paper.
right? We support Trump.
Negroes making America great again.
Oh gosh,
For free.
For free. Oh gosh, I could say so many things, and oh god. So one cotton ball at a time.
That's how
it's getting that bad. That's
3/5
just
of
that
the
bad.
time.
Like, people say that Trump says it like it is. Like, how? What is that really how it is? Like, we can just grab him by the pussy and pick out our own supporters because we think because they're black that they couldn't possibly support him?
That's
Like,
how it is.
That's exactly how it is.
It's like when you open it, like he was scared because it's like when you open the container of grits and you find a weevil in there.
Are you saying the black man is a weevil?
Well, I'm just comparing. Like,
okay.
You can't, you find a little black speck in there. You can't be too sure.
I also don't eat grit.
Just throw it away. Just throw it away. We don't even need it. Just throw it away. It's not even 0.1%. I mean, this is the guy that said he tells it like it is. He said he could go out into Times Square, shoot someone, and not lose a single supporter. Sadly, I believe him.
Yeah.
I mean, is that really how it is?
I mean, the guy he kicked out is still his supporter. So
yeah,
he's not
so I'm
wrong.
pretty sure he
Although
probably
if he did shoot a Trump supporter, technically he did lose one supporter.
You're right, he would. So not every situation would lead to him not losing a supporter.
He would probably go around asking who are you going to vote for.
I don't know though. If he shot a Hispanic
he'd have
supporter,
to.
he might gain more supporters because he shot a Hispanic.
Ooh, that's true. They do hate themselves.
Yeah.
Depending.
All he'd have to say is, "This is one bad hombre." Pow pow.
If he was Cuban, he would definitely get the Florida Mexican vote.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. He definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if he was Mexican, they'd definitely get the Florida Puerto Rican vote.
Oh, yes.
So.
I like how people forget that Puerto Ricans are actually Americans. They have voting rights.
Yeah.
If he shot a Puerto Rican, he'd get my vote. That's a lie. One of my favorite people is a Puerto Rican. I've got a lot of Puerto Rican friends.
If he shot someone,
Trust me.
if he just shot someone named Becky, I'd vote for him. That's all it takes.
Fuck you, Becky.
Fuck Becky.
Becky with the good hair.
Becky. Fuck her. Fuck her. Alright. Enough about politics. What else we got,
Let's
man?
go on to lighter fare, shall we?
So,
Gary Johnson! Alright, I'm done. I'm
Gary
done. I'm done.
Jim Stein. The real election.
No more politics.
Speaking of Becky with the good hair,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about this woman who this size 14 woman who was told she had to fit through a hula hoop to get into a club.
I really just want to know, did they stand out there with a hula hoop and ask every girl? Because then that's not discrimination.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
it says
If it was just a general entrance exam for everyone.
so apparently what happened was See, this woman apparently had just lost 20 pounds, and
Good for her, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah, that was great
and
for her.
she went out to celebrate. She bought a new dress and went out to celebrate, and she the bouncer told her she would have to pass the whole hoop test.
The whole hoop test.
The whole hoop test.
Oh.
So this woman said, my friend and I had been working so hard with our diet and running regularly that I'd bought a new dress to celebrate. It was my friend's birthday, so we made a real effort, getting slammed up, wearing little dresses. I felt good about myself. But when I got inside and asked about the entry fee, the doorman that had shown me inside said quite loudly, "She'll have to take the hula hoop test first." I was so embarrassed, I asked him to repeat it, but he said it was a private joke. I told him I knew exactly what he said, and he just laughed, so I left.
Oh, so he didn't actually ask her to go through the hula hoop.
Well, if she had stayed, he would have made her.
Would he have?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this a doorman or an establishment policy?
Oh, he apparently said it was just.
I mean,
a
we could
joke.
still be outraged
so was it
at
like,
the situation. I'm not justifying.
Yeah, I would like to know
the.
the accuracy of like what exactly happened.
Yeah, because if it was the bouncer, then he loses his job. They publicly apologize and give her free drinks her next time in. If it was,
Well, I mean, if we're gonna play that
within
card,
an
she gotta
hour
get
of
free
sending
drinks
the
anyway.
club an email, Kelly got an apology from the club who said the man involved did not work for the club, but was rather a hired security firm, but has been banned from working at the club in the future.
all right. So,
Okay, well, if you hire the security, they're working for you.
well,
how-
they're contracted. They
Yeah,
have
they're
different.
Yeah, but you
contracted
still
out.
hired them. They're still. If you
You
tell them
hired- you
leave,
hired
please,
their
they're
company.
done.
Yeah, that's true. You have
They-
control over that.
They're your employees for the night. Granted, they're not directly on your payroll, but you have paid for them. They are your hired help.
Within his company, he probably just got shuffled to a different bar that night.
Yep.
Well,
But I
so
can
she didn't try to
understand
go
though.
to
It
that
wasn't
one.
someone under his payroll. It wasn't someone they trained themselves. It was just. I mean, I understand. I'm just saying technically they were your employees.
So they literally wanted to make this bitch jump through hoops to get into the club.
I say light it on fire, and at least we got street entertainment while we wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd have been so fucked.
Ah,
That is kind
God.
of that is though. If you think about it, that's a crappy feeling though, because here she is after working hard, getting that 20 pounds off, brand new dress, and then they're gonna make a fat joke about her.
would you feel bad, or would you just be like, "Fuck you," break the whole thing?
I'd have gone for it. Like I'd have just been like, "Give me the fucking hoop."
They'd probably let you. You know what though? They would probably laugh their asses off and be fine with it, and you probably still get in.
Probably.
And the
That's-
girls would be buying you drinks. Yeah,
Yep,
so good out
Exactly. That was great. What a great dude. That was so hilarious, man. Let me get you a beer. Like all the bros, because they want to be the cool guy. Like, yeah, I'm cool with this dude. What's up, girl?
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Yeah. No, I think most of the time with stuff like that, yeah, it's wrong. People shouldn't be doing that. It's just stupid. But at the same time, like you gotta roll with it. Life,
You lean
you're gonna
into it.
run into.
I don't know. I get her stance.
Of course,
on it.
yeah.
I understand.
No,
that.
I'm
I
not-
completely understand. But at the same time, I think sometimes you gotta kind of roll with the punches a little bit and make the best of it. And sometimes
That one's just a little too far.
that was a little bit far. Okay, fine. I mean, if it happened to me, let's say, because I've lost like 45 pounds so far,
Good for
and
you.
let's say someone thanks.
Am I just gaining all of your guys' weight? that you're
Probably.
Is this like a
It's-
mutual circle jerk right
It's
now?
gotta go somewhere. Yeah, we're just reaching across. The
I put on a
table.
few pounds, like in a good way,
Good for
guys.
you. This is turned into the View. Like.
No, we don't sound like
I
chickens
like what
yet.
you did with your hair, Josh. It's really nice.
Why? Thank you. I've been what is conditioning?
Oh,
Yeah.
I do it every day. Actually.
Of course.
I have a
you
very specific brand of shampoo and conditioner that have to be paired together. My wife has to buy her own because she cannot touch my shampoo or conditioner.
do.
And she had no idea. Poor girl. She married me when I had a shaved head in the military, and now I'm like, I'm going to back out. I take this shit seriously.
I don't think I've ever owned a bottle of conditioner.
You should
All
try
right,
it.
guys, stare at me. I am
Josh
being
and I are
judged.
just offended.
For those
now.
of you-
you don't condition your hair. The fuck is wrong with you, sir?
For those of
Why
you
are
that
you even still sitting here?
Yeah.
Get the hula hoop.
I told you.
Get the
hula hoop.
get the scanner, I want to know the moisture levels in his head. I swear, if I see split ends, he's done.
He's not allowed in this club.
So,
But yeah, if I was that girl, let's say I was in that situation, I never will be, but let's say I was.
Why? Because you'll never be fat or never be a girl.
I'd never be at a club. That's just the truth. That is not my chill spot.
That's option C.
Okay.
There you go.
Now, you might read this story someday where they do the hula hoop test at the internet cafe. You might find me there, but not. We don't even have those here. Who am I kidding? But not the club. Not where you're going to find me. But yeah, I'd probably get pissed off, but I'd probably try to make the best of the situation at the same time. But I'd probably wake up the next day after my hangover wore off and be pretty pissed.
No, I'm with her. I'd go home, cry, and write an email. That's essentially what I would.
You would write a strongly worded email.
Tear-stained keyboard.
These
It hurt my
motherfuckers.
feelings. That's me, and it may be wrong.
I'm gonna shove these
They
size
put
9
me
heels.
in a jail cell and told me I had to squeeze through the bars if I wanted to get into the club.
And then they said I'm not allowed within 15 feet of a school zone. That's actually not far. 15 yards.
15 feet.
What
So,
club was I at again?
You could be in
Hold
the
on.
middle of the road
Club
right there.
fed.
Oh, I escaped the federal jail called military. Thank God.
It was Leavenworth.
Leavenworth. Oh. Whew.
So moving on, another case of public embarrassment. This one coming out of Australia.
Down under.
Yeah.
Oh, this story is great.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. A man named Ziggy.
I mean, hold on. Before we go on, that is enough to go off of to make fun of this man for the rest of his life. His name is Ziggy.
Of course, yes. Ziggy Mosselmani was photographed at an 18th birthday party in Sydney in July last year by a professional photographer who then uploaded the photo to Facebook. Within days, the post went viral, spurring satirical memes and media stories about his haircut. Now, I'll go ahead and post this picture on the Facebook.
Please do.
Oh yes, please.
Because
I'd like to talk about that.
this mullet has to be seen to believed.
It's a glorious mullet.
Well, what also needs to be seen and believed is that he's got that mullet and he's dancing with her.
Ugh.
I don't know. I don't know
Staged.
how.
I don't know.
When you have the confidence to rock that hair, though, you know.
That probably speaks for volumes. Plus, who knows?
Bitches love confidence.
If he's out in the middle of Down Under, he might be like the village hottie. We don't know for
don't
sure.
know.
Yeah, we haven't seen his teeth. He might have a full set of teeth.
He might be the catch, and she's trying her best to find her way with that guy.
So Ziggy found himself the subject of a meme, as you do.
As you do.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had that happen, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
That. Yeah. The,
That's a thing that,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at memes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
you.
them. I was in a meme that about 7 people knew about.
But
Maybe
anyway,
13, I don't know.
he became. One article suggested his mullet hairdo belonged in the Hairy Hall of Shame.
Did he make it into the Harry Hall of Shame, though?
It doesn't say. I mean,
he's just inducted. He's a nominee.
He's a nominee, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd vote him in.
Who wouldn't with that fucking mullet? Like, but there are so many other nominees. It's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You don't always get inducted your first year you're nominated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, the original photo, it says, has been shared hundreds of times on Facebook.
Hundreds. Brutal.
And there are nearly 2,000 comments on the picture.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's like at least 1/3 of the internet.
At minimum, a third of the internet.
So
Minimum a
Ziggy did what you do when you get turned into a meme.
You asked them
He
to
made
stop.
TV appearances.
He sued them.
Who exactly though do you file suit against?
The photographer.
Did the
He
photographer create the
sued-
memes though?
No.
Well, then I got nothing.
He sued.
Yeah, hi. You took pictures of me and posted them as I requested and paid you to do. I'm suing you
I'm suing you.
for doing it.
Well, it's looking like he also sued the news organization.
That's a little bit more understandable.
Yeah, I kind of understand them because if they, as I recall it from the article, they were posting the edited photos of him that were photoshopped and ridiculing him, which I can understand somewhat there because you're not posting just an original image and saying this is going around the internet and just reporting news. You're kind of taking a side here and saying this guy is ridiculous.
Well, that's why I say the media needs to leave memes to the meme lords.
Just leave it to them. They know what they're doing. Don't touch it.
We're not going to 4chan today, Ryan.
Ah, damn it.
We're not, okay?
I tried to lead in.
Who is the 4chan anyway?
All four of them.
Anon is one very active member of the internet.
Has over 9,000 penises.
9,000. You heard that right, ladies. Anon's got 9,000 of them ready.
So
cocked and loaded.
I don't know. They go off pretty half-cocked most of the time.
That's a little prematurely, one might say.
So, the good news is District Court Judge Judith Gibson struck out the teenager's lawsuit. Asked him to file an amended statement of claim. In handing down her decision, she said most of the comments were humorous in nature. She says, the plaintiff's striking mullet haircut has generated a great deal of interest on the internet, most of it humorous, and some of it in the form of clever observations, such as the Pythagoras direction in one of the memes. In other words, they fucking formulated his haircut as a triangle.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm saying just ride this. Tell it at parties. Use it. Go for it.
He's never heard of the Streisand effect, apparently.
No. But, I mean, even Beyonce.
You've never heard of the Streisand effect, have you?
No, I'm filled with shame right now.
JD, jeez and fuck. Okay.
Come to this podcast with that limited information. We're gonna have to circumcise you. We're the Jewish Mafia.
Yeah.
No, not the Jewish Mafia.
Oi!
Call them oil.
Opa! That's not Jewish.
No,
That's
jeez and fuck. You keep confusing Greeks and Jews.
They're not the same thing?
Oh, gosh.
No, one uses Windex a lot.
Wasn't Jesus a Greek?
What?
I don't know my history.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
So Streisand effect.
So the
Streisand effect, please. Let's get back to that one.
Once upon a time on the internet, Barbra Streisand's personal information was leaked.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than just let it go and let it fade into obscurity, she made a huge fucking deal about it and tried to get it taken off of the internet.
Oh, yeah, that always ends well.
And it caused it to become a bigger thing. And this was the first case of this happening.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that effect.
Right.
Did not realize it was known as the Streisand effect.
Yeah,
I've never heard that used.
Because of that, it's called the Streisand effect.
Okay.
And we've seen it happen with like Beyonce, with that awful picture of her from the Super Bowl.
Even Harambe.
She freaked out. Harambe is a perfect example of the Streisand effect, where the zoo was like, please stop making memes of Harambe, and the internet sent out a collective
Dicks out for Harambe.
hairy gorilla middle finger to them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, exactly. It's called the Streisand effect.
Okay.
And this kid has apparently never heard of it. I mean, he's 18. He's from Australia. It's
They don't have the internet down there, I don't think, right?
They do have the internet, but it's here's what I know from having dated an Australian at one point.
Oh.
It is.
Today I learned.
Yeah. It didn't go well.
Basically, usually it's a lot more expensive, and you typically have to pay like per gigabyte.
Well, it's not per gig, but it's
well, depending on your package, but
right. The packages they're doing a lot more here. It's set gigabytes, like they have 250 gigabytes,
right,
and then that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not even a throttle down, not even throttled. You're just
aren't all their monitors upside down there though?
Yep.
They see the internet upside down?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because the gravitational force fields of the Earth. And
they have to look at it through mirrors.
Yeah, electromagnetism.
And they only get yesterday's news. They don't get today's.
Right.
No, they're in the future. They get tomorrow's news, which makes me wonder why they haven't told us things.
What I did find out though is that you almost cannot get weed in Australia.
Wow.
It is so fucking expensive, and when you
Well,
can
I mean,
find
think
it.
like
And it's like ditch weed.
you can't really grow it in the outback. You need a moist
People
environment.
don't live in the fucking outback.
Exactly. They live in the places where you could grow it, but people are living there. It's harder to get away with.
Yep.
You would assume with so much land that they could grow weed and not get caught, but they can't grow it in the land that's available.
Well, it's a lot of dry areas, and pretty much everything there wants to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a tough place.
Including the Australians.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Mullet
And
guys
apparently
coming for
mullets, yeah.
They are super racist too. Like more racist than we. Like people tell us that we're racist. People are SJWs, like real hardcore SJWs, not like I'm called an SJW, but like real hardcore SJWs tell us how bad racist we are. Australia is super fucking racist.
Oh yeah.
Like they still do blackface on TV.
Yeah.
Like there's a clip out there of Harry Connick Jr. on a game show.
And he did blackface?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
he was on a game show like the Gong Show
Yeah.
that they have there just the other year, and this group came out and did the Jackson 5
In blackface.
in blackface as like all adults, and he flipped the fuck out.
Good.
Like he's like, what are you doing? Like
Oh, I need to watch this.
it was fantastic. He's like, you would be killed in America for doing this.
Yeah.
Holy
Unless your name is Rachel Dolezal.
She's putting out a fucking memoir.
Oh, please. I think the
White
title...
Like Me.
Oh, White Like Me. No. I think it's like Shades of My Life, Finding My Place in a Black and White World.
It's stupid as fuck. Like,
Don't quote me, but I think
that is it.
the
Yeah.
title goes... I mean, granted, whoever came up with that title for her, kudos. Great fucking title.
Yeah.
Love the title.
She probably
It's gonna be a terrible book, but I love
She
that
probably
title
went
name.
to some PR firm.
Oh, I know it wasn't her. Clearly she's too dumb to do that on her own. She went to a PR firm, talked to a white representative, and thought, like, yeah, they'll understand my plight.
Right.
And it was the black dude that was there. It was like, nah, I got this. I got your book title. Don't worry.
This bitch.
This bitch. But kudos to him, then. What a great book title, man.
They're one black guy in the PR firm that handles all the urban things.
Send it to T-Bone. He'll do it. My
name is Travis.
Yeah, my
it's
name's
not
Travis.
T-Bone.
It's not T-Bone. Shut up, T-Bone. Such a T-Bone thing to say. Travis. That's funny. Seriously, I have a PhD in public relations. All right, T-Bone.
Yeah, you go on, T-Bone, with your PhD.
School of Hard Knocks, T-Bone. Yeah. Listen,
I know I'm not
Pretty
saying
hot
anything.
doctor. Oh, yeah.
I know I've been saying anything, but I had to look up who that was. Saw her face, recognized it in full color. What an idiot. Idiot. Just stupid. I identify as black. You identify as fucked, you idiot.
But she got away with it for so long.
She really did.
How? How do you even just get away with that? Like, no one noticed?
Because people didn't check. Like, people didn't.
Well, I guess there are a lot of, like...
You can't ask someone, like, are you really black because you're light skinned? That's racist.
Well, there's
Right,
people that
yeah,
are, like,
right.
half white, half black, but they have, like, white skin.
Right.
But they still consider them black because they're half black. They are, like, their mom's black or something.
Right.
So I guess they just assumed...
Right, yeah, you
She
can't.
was
Like
half.
Ryan said, you can't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of wrong. Kind of like, are you pregnant?
Exactly.
Like, you can't just ask that
No,
question. You
I'm
can't
not.
drop that.
No, I just lost 20 pounds, okay? I'm not going to hit through the hula hoop.
Exactly.
Do you get asked if you're pregnant a lot?
No, but interestingly enough, when me and the mistress are out, we do get, like, how are you ladies doing tonight?
I'm sorry. I'm not
No.
laughing at you.
And
I'm
here I
laughing
am
with you.
thinking it was bad that I get assumed that when you or I go out or John and I go out, they assume we're a gay couple. I mean,
Oh gosh.
oh, that's hilarious.
It happens a lot. And then I go, I'm doing all right. And they go, oh, and they.
I did have a 5-year-old tell me I looked like I had a baby in my stomach.
It happens a lot. Like, that's why I started growing this pube thing on my chin. Like, even though it's a little puby thing, like, it still stops people from calling me.
Do you grow any other facial hair? Does it
I
stop
can't.
right there?
Like, it's
No?
like it doesn't really grow in. It just grows in like little individual hairs, maybe.
Okay.
It doesn't really grow in. So.
Did you get burned in a fire?
You can totally tell with all the scarring.
No, my face is not like this, okay? I can talk.
Neither is Kane's face, and Undertaker burned him alive as a child.
Your last name isn't Mark, okay?
There's a lot of damn marks in this thing.
Someone should take care of that.
So, moving on, we have a story from Tennessee here. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have a beard. I saw a picture of him, and I'm like, how does this guy not have a neck beard?
Yeah.
It surprised the fuck out of me. Coming out of Tennessee, a guy, Logan Badgley, argued with his mother because he wanted her debit card so he could go get some Taco Bell. Though Badgley's mother told him there was no money in the account, he took the card anyway and left the residence. In a little while, he returned to the home.
After verifying there was no money on the credit card.
He returned to the home in a Memphis suburb, and the mother told the cops that her son was angry because he had discovered that the card couldn't cover his purchase.
That's a plot twist right there.
Purchase at a Taco
Bell.
Don't have that $7 for that burrito meal.
According to a criminal complaint, Badgley confronted his mother in the garage, where he grabbed his hockey stick and struck her on the left side of the head. The blow knocked the woman to the ground, where she lost consciousness. Badgley told police that he had consumed a few alcoholic beverages during the night and did not want to provide his side of the story.
I mean, I think that covers it. He had a few alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, that means you get a free pass.
Yeah.
You know, he just made one bad decision. He shouldn't ruin his life over this.
I don't have enough.
They've graduated from Tendies to Taco Bell.
Oh, man.
Tendies, mommy, I've got enough good boy points.
I don't get this reference.
It's a 4chan reference.
Oh, damn it.
I still want to know
we
who
weren't
this
talking
4chan
about
is.
it. I thought we were avoiding it tonight, and that's not in the right place.
So he actually beat his mother because there wasn't enough money in the account for Taco Bell.
And she told him as much.
Yeah.
Although I'm kind of curious, they could probably slap like a drunk driving charge on him because he admitted he had a few drinks.
I wonder why they didn't.
And he had to drive off to the Taco Bell, I'm assuming.
Well, he's already getting booked on aggravated assault, a felony.
Might as well.
Why not just slap it on there? Come on, make sure
everything you can.
Get his license.
More time.
He might not. They might not have had him blow.
Yeah.
I bet he's blown enough now.
Oh, I bet he is. Sitting up in that prison, and they're trying to figure out if they should be a little nice to him or not. And they're like, "What'd you do? Hit my mom in the head with a hockey stick over Taco Bell?" Yeah, boy, get on your knees.
Let me see that chalupa, boy.
Get inside that burrito.
I'll make you churros.
God. Taste this taco.
Oh, Jesus.
Toss my taco salad.
God, I need to go to jail.
No, you would so be a bitch if you went to jail.
That's the first thing I'm doing. I show up, I find the baddest motherfucking dude, and I say, "Fuck me, I'm your bitch now." Don't let anyone touch me.
Oh my God.
Didn't I say this as much at like one of our older podcasts?
I don't know. Did
I feel
you?
like I always admit that I'm the bitch in jail now. It's the thing. If not, if this is the first time you're listening, one of our new 6 or 7 listeners,
He's gonna be the bitch.
You are the bitch.
I'm
Yeah.
the bitch. We've established.
I don't know what I would be.
So, in moving on, in more fast food police related news,
Yeah.
because there was more, believe it or
There's
not,
more. On a related
But wait,
note.
there's more.
in Wyoming, a man tried to pay for a sting hooker with a quarter pounder meal. He was trying to pound her, all right.
Oh,
I just want to say real quick that I'm extremely proud that none of this is starting with a Florida man.
this is true. This is
This
true.
is from Tennessee and Wyoming. We're good.
We're good
We're
this
okay
week.
down here in Florida.
This
done
week
all right.
we
I
had
tried
no
to stay
pepper.
away from Florida stories because I was just like, I don't wanna,
It's
no.
too easy. It's low hanging fruit. So back in college, a friend James Ryan and I were watching the Maury Povich show,
Oh,
and
I love Maury.
they were talking to a rather feisty large prostitute,
I remember this one.
and her line was, "You do not have to pay me. You can fuck me for a double cheeseburger and a pack of ports."
Yep.
And that is
Yep.
supposed to be on a t-shirt.
It's on a t-shirt.
It should be. I wanted to make that a t-shirt, and I would have sold it.
Well, I am assuming that this guy must have seen that show.
And he thought this is acceptable.
he looked at
tender
her and thought,
for
this must be it.
transaction.
This quarter pounder. I mean, she looks hungry.
Well, 22-year-old David Mangus was recently arrested and booked on solicitation charges following a prostitution sting in Casper, Wyoming. Allegedly, after scouring through ads on Craigslist sites like Backdoor.com, or Craigslist-like site, Backdoor.com, Magnus came across a woman who purportedly was offering sexual services for money. After reaching out to her, to the hooker who was actually an undercover police officer, he was able to goad her into accepting a meal from McDonald's as payment instead of cash. More specifically, he offered to pay the woman with a McDonald's quarter pounder meal with cheese with cheese, which comes with a medium fry and soft drink.
Well, hold on. How is this illegal? How is this any different than a date? Don't we all buy food for the women on the first date in expectations for sex? Isn't that how dating works in a male-privileged white world?
You right.
You know, you're not wrong.
No, but in all honesty, I don't believe that. But I do. I mean, if I'm this guy, that's my legal excuse. Is I wasn't trying to pay her for sex. I was trying to take her on a date, and hopefully I'd have sex later. But that would be up to her. It's her choice. But this was just the first date at McDonald's.
What I'm wondering though is if he knew he was getting a hooker, obviously.
Right.
At what point did he say, "Well, this doesn't seem fishy. She's taking an $8."
Of course it
McDonald's,
wasn't fishy. It was a
like,
quarter pounder.
You have to
Quarter
know
pounder.
at this
It
point,
wasn't a
this is a
filet-o-fish.
sting. They are gonna do something here. This is fishy. Like critical thinking. This is
Well, like
If
I want to
it
know
was
what the email
fishy, I would've taken
transaction.
it back to McDonald's.
That's when you go, hey, listen, I'm not going to pay
I
you
got the
because that's
quarter pounder, not the fish sandwich. Okay, what the hell?
I'm not going to pay you because that's illegal. But I'll take you to dinner, and if you want to fuck afterwards, we can.
There you go. See,
And then when
it's
they
all
meet
about your
up, you
wording.
have dinner with them. You can verify that it is in fact a woman. Then you'd be like, all right, let's not give you $100 for fucking me right now.
So at the bottom of this story, it relays another story which did in fact happen in Florida.
Oh,
Damn it.
Damn it.
As odd as paying for such a service with such an item may sound, an actual sex worker was once busted in Florida following her acceptance of delicacies from the popular fast food chain as payment for the adult-themed services she offered. According to another report from the Smoking Gun, which was initially shared back in 2012, a Florida woman, then 47, unknowingly interacted with an officer who was part of a vice operation. As the two conversed in a car, Baker relayed to her John that he could get off by paying her off with 2 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's, which then amounted to $2.75, tax included.
But again, what if a normal girl was just like, listen, we're having we're in your car. You take me to dinner, I'll fuck you. Is that
JD
prostitution?
is head desking right now.
I just don't understand. Like, at what point do you say, yeah, you can climb on inside me for $2.67? Like, what? I mean,
When you're hungry,
I
you're
mean,
hungry.
double cheeseburger
I would
grease
ask
makes
for-
good lube.
I would ask for a better meal. I'd be
You
like,
would say that, John.
oh my god, get some Crisco up on that.
I just use tears.
Oh, but just I mean,
yeah,
at least
that's
go to
that's your wife's tears from actually realizing that
She
she's
married me.
fucking you.
at least go to an Olive
What happened
Garden.
in my life?
Where did
Yeah,
I go
Olive
wrong?
Garden.
I mean, at least go to an Olive Garden. At least get yourself a never-ending pasta bowl.
Fucking
Get yourself
classy.
some food. Okay.
How lucky you take me to Red Lobster.
Some
How about
some
All right,
fancy
Beyonce.
Italian,
that? Scrab fest.
semi fancy Italian music. You know, that's Amore playing in the background. Someone's birthday. And you're just having a meal, getting ready to go have sex with some stranger. Like McDonald's drive-through, double cheeseburgers. I mean, come on, at least go with the other guy. At least he was a little classier.
Hold on.
Got her a meal.
Did they allow her to finish the meal?
Did they get her the food?
Well, who the
The
sting officer.
the sting
Please tell me
officer. Did they at
drove
least
and
get her
got
the damn food?
um?
Probably doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
Man.
I would have had a heart. I'm not gonna lie. If I was that officer, I'd be like, look, I'll go get you the 2 double cheeseburgers real quick.
But then you're arrested.
You eat them,
It
and
says
then
she accepted the food, but it doesn't say that she was allowed to eat it. So
I hope they gave her
I hope
food.
they let her eat it. At least, come on.
it's kind of
'Cause
hard
you
to
gotta
eat
be
double
hungry.
cheeseburgers with your hands behind your back.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be hungry if you're sitting there like, yeah, I'll get you off for 2 double cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Like,
But this is an entirely different topic. I'm probably taking it down to a serious tone, which we try to avoid. But this is why prostitution shouldn't be illegal. We should go after the John. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But the girls,
the Johns.
the guys that are paying for sex.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with charging the Johns for trying to buy sex, and I'm okay, absolutely, with throwing the pimps in jail forever. But the girls themselves are the ones that are victims. Those are the ones that need to be able to approach police officers. Is that a phone ringing?
Yeah,
Oh my-
that's a phone ring.
Those
in the
exist?
other room.
What is is that a house phone?
Is that a,
No, that's my phone in the other room.
is that a landline?
It's probably not even picking up on the thing. So
Well, now
Fine.
we just lampshaded something that didn't even happen.
thank you. Yeah, asshole. Good writer.
What even happened? What happened? I don't even know.
Hey, hold on. JD's a time traveler. He can fix this show.
I'll fix it. I'll go back and change this. It's fine. Don't even worry about it, guys. Don't sweat.
So anyway,
Anyway,
I don't even think we should. I just think it should be legal. I don't
Well,
even think we should.
I think it should be legal because then it's more regulated at least.
right. You
It's
can't,
not-
you
but that's
can't
why-
regulate something that's illegal.
I'm okay with brothels. But
Yeah.
street
no,
prostitution.
get it off the streets. Get it into a brick and mortar establishment
Exactly.
or whatever. Get it to a place where you can trace some paperwork.
Just like drugs.
And not to say, like, obviously, I know over in Europe where it is legal, they still have problems with trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
but it's horrible over here too. It's really bad, especially with kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if
It's
we
a
made
lot
it,
less over there when they have it legalized.
and it makes it so much easier to keep it under control. I mean, if you think about it, it's just like with cigarettes, let's say. It's easier for most kids under 18 to get pot than it is to get cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because most cigarettes are behind a counter where someone's going to card you. Drug dealer's not going to card you for pot.
Right.
You know, same
If
thing
you
with
got money, you got pot. Like
yeah,
that's-
pretty much. He doesn't care if you're 16. He's just going to look at you and say you got $20. All right,
Mhm.
let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with the prostitution. You can regulate it, you can watch it, you can monitor it, you can bring down the instances of crime and the trafficking and whatnot, or the
And
women getting
abuse.
abused and
Yeah.
being forced to stay there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and you can get a lot of the diseases out of it too, and make it safer for everyone.
Yeah, has Bunny Ranch ever had any reported cases of diseases? That's something we should look up for the next
I'm
show.
sure they've had something, but the girls have still been working there and they're tested.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to be tested.
Yeah, they
That's
have to be
part of their-
tested. Yeah, it's part of the law. They
Mhm.
have to, and it's good business.
Yeah.
Obviously. So obviously they're keeping it pretty clean. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's been a couple things happen. I mean, it's gonna, but
Speaking of trafficking,
oh boy.
they
Is this one of those long stretches, or is there actual trafficking news?
no the Vietnamese death row inmate.
Oh, her.
Her.
Yes.
Trafficking something else.
Well, she was put in there for drug trafficking.
Yeah.
hmm
So there's a Vietnamese death row inmate.
By the way, before this goes any further, real quick, I just want to say this woman is my damn hero.
goes,
My damn
she is
hero.
a fucking. She's like the MacGyver of. She's like Orange is the New Black meets MacGyver.
Oh man.
Yep.
She really is. So a Vietnamese female death row inmate put on death row for drug trafficking. That's
Welcome.
how fucking serious they are about drug trafficking in Vietnam.
Is now when I can use the good morning Vietnam.
Vietnam.
So she's on death row because of drug trafficking. So in order to get her sentence commuted, she goes ahead and she buys a Ziploc baggie of semen
Yeah.
with a syringe and goes ahead and turkey bastes herself.
I still need the video proof of this. Just for science.
Yeah. And for science, you mean beating your dick like it owes you money.
You know, I've done worse.
And by the way, she did successfully get pregnant.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
She is now successfully pregnant and has had her sentence commuted to a life sentence because in Vietnam, if you're on death row and you get pregnant, you cannot be executed. You have your sentence then commuted to a life
So
sentence.
they basically had already recognized if you can get pregnant while on death row, good for you.
We're
beat
gonna
the
make it
system.
hard, but you've earned it.
What happens to the child? Does it go
Oh,
into the
they're going to make
system?
it hard, all right.
Clearly, she has proven that she is fertile, so we have better use for her in the Vietnamese prison system.
Right, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so she paid off a bunch of guards to get a baggie of jizz.
How is it so bad over there? I thought we won that war.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Oh, I should read a history book.
Oh,
A
I
lot of
actually.
people didn't come back from over there.
Well,
Some people wanted some people to stay over there.
yeah, we won't. I'm gonna leave that one off the air for now.
That's fair. That is 100%
But
fair.
that's still just despicable.
I concur.
So,
Yeah, that
so
was.
she bought a. I want to know whose jizz it was. Was it one of the guards' jizz?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Jizz
No, I thought
doesn't.
it was another inmate.
Was it another in?
It
Like,
might have.
do
It
they
had to have
is it
been.
co-ed housing there? I
No,
thought it was.
I think the guards got charged for transporting it.
Oh.
Because if it was one of the guards, I don't think it'd be in a baggie or a syringe. I don't think a guard that was willing to do that would be like, you know what, I'll just do it in a bag and you can have it. I'm sure he's like, hey, wait till the other guys go to sleep. I'll be in your cell. I'll help you out.
I don't know, but it had to have been someone probably in the jail somewhere because semen doesn't last very long. So if you think about it, someone literally like jerked into a bag real quick and they ran it over to her, and she was like,
maybe it was a
Oh
guard.
yeah, it does. It's less than 48 hours once it leaves the body that
Yeah.
sperm stays alive.
and that's best case scenario
Yeah.
if you keep it kind of cold.
Yeah.
So and
It's-
it's in a plastic baggie, which is an uncontrolled environment. You got light and whatnot. If the proteins start breaking down, the acidity gets wrong. That stuff's very delicate and dies.
I thought you were going for psychology. What is this?
I took
knowledge?
human anatomy for
Yeah,
fun.
that's true. It says it said it was another inmate, a 27-year-old male inmate, twice put his sperm in a plastic bag. So it took 2 times.
2 times.
2 tries. That's not bad.
That's
That's
better
pretty
than
good.
in vitro a lot of
Yeah,
times.
that's better than people actually trying like direct injection.
No
you know what I'm
kidding.
saying? Like,
Yeah. Twice put his sperm in a plastic bag with a syringe in a mutually agreed place, and Hugh inseminated herself. So it wasn't even that the guards.
No, I guess the guards are just in trouble for not knowing this was happening.
So maybe like he stuck it in the toilet tank or something,
Hmm.
and like he was making pruno or something.
Yeah.
Like it was this with jizz.
I think he. I think there's probably more of a public place than it is a co-ed jail.
Yeah, I
My
think so.
assumption.
They must.
I don't,
And
usually
death row must be co-ed in Vietnam.
usually death rows are very. Almost every country, the death row is like the most guarded one because that's the people that are most desperate.
But
Yeah.
this guy's not getting his sentence commuted, I'm sure.
No,
Uh-huh.
Hugh paid $2,300 to a male inmate to help get her pregnant.
He must not have been on death. Because what's he gonna do with $2,300 in jail on death
Take
row?
care of his family. It's Vietnam. He was probably wrongfully accused.
Oh yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah, he probably got the money to someone on the outside. That's all right. That's a fair
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Because it's not like she had the cash just sitting there in the cell with her.
No.
Yeah, that was someone on the outside, probably within her drug trafficking ring.
Apparently, this isn't out of the ordinary because a similar incident happened in 2007 when 2 prison guards in a northern province were sentenced to up to 5 years in prison for abuse of power after allowing a female inmate to get pregnant with a male inmate. So the wording there is strange, but it sounds like
They let the boinky boinky happen.
they were having the boinky boinky happen.
Okay, well yeah, because if it's abuse of power, maybe they were actually like
They were like,
having a little
go
live,
at it.
live
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
See, okay, this is also why, like, all right, I had this guy in one of my classes. He was going on about how we should do the drug stuff like they do over in those Asian countries.
What?
Like, yeah, he actually said this. He was like, yeah, if we catch someone with drugs and stuff, we don't mess around. We're just going to cut off a hand. If they do it again, we kill them. And that's just it. We're done with it. We save so much money. And I'm like, you do realize we're not in like the 1700s.
Was he friends with Chelsea Clinton?
Maybe. He might have been. I'm not sure. But I was sitting there like, what? And threatening people with killing them clearly doesn't stop crime because we've been doing it for thousands of years.
Right.
Yeah.
But education stops crime. We've seen that demonstrated. We've seen that educating even criminals reduces their recidivism rate.
Yeah.
We've seen all these things. We clearly see that threatening people with death row does nothing.
Well, we won't do that because it's too much like Europe, and
Ugh.
America can't be anything
Right,
like
that
Europe.
nasty place over there.
All those
Nasty European.
communists.
We can't have.
Don't even shave and shower.
We can't have clean needle programs because those socialist countries have them and shit
Mhm.
like that.
Although I find it funny here in America, thinking about this now, that because the Christian right wing is always anti-gay, no more gays, no teen pregnancy, we gotta practice abstinence, blah blah blah. And right in the Bible Belt, right in that northern Florida up there, and Alabama, you guys know the Bible Belt, of course, right in there, highest concentration of internet searches for gay porn, highest rate of teen pregnancies, highest rate of abortions.
Highest
It's
rate
like,
No, it's not the highest criminal rates. Is
No.
it?
no, not the highest rate of, no, not criminal.
But
I
meth?
think they do have higher
Meth?
drug use.
Yeah.
Higher meth, I think, is the
It's
particular
because
one.
The Republican Party is not the party of personal responsibility for themselves. It's the party of personal responsibility for everybody else. It's the party of good is good when it's good for me.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
why Gary Johnson. That's two tonight.
So, look, we're gonna close out the show tonight.
What's Aleppo?
Hey,
It's a large spotted cat.
There you go. That's it.
Aleppo. Fun story.
Yeah.
My have you guys ever played Boulder Dash?
Yes.
So my uncle got the word philocubus. If you're not familiar with Boulder Dash, you get a word and you come up with a fake definition, and then people have to guess what they think is the real definition.
Gotcha.
My uncle got philocubus, and he already knew what the word was, so he wrote it down to get the points for knowing the word. Couldn't tell you what it is. I'm not that smart. But his fake answer to actually put into the game was how Fidel Castro starts his speeches. My philocubus.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Speaking of Gary Johnson, just to side note here before we go into the last bit where I ask a few questions. Did you watch the video of him blowing up on the Guardian reporter?
I watched a video of him blowing up on someone.
Yeah, about his tax.
Oh yeah.
No, maybe not this one. I saw him. He didn't
Yeah,
blow up.
Wasn't it the one because they pushed him on how it's not actually fiscally gonna work, and he I can't remember it.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
exactly.
It was a few days
yeah.
ago though, but he.
Basically, what happened is what it boils down to is the whole analogy of how microaggressions are like mosquito bites, where you get one and it's just annoying, but you get 50 million of them and you blow up and people are like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That person just blew up out of nowhere. So he's getting asked all these questions, and he finally blew up, and the Guardian reporter, and it was at a Guardian reporter of all fucking people.
Yeah.
So the Guardian blew it out of proportion,
Absolutely.
like the Guardian does. Now the problem with it is that they kept pushing, and the Guardian would never push Hillary or Trump
Or even Trump, yeah.
like they push him.
Mm-hmm.
They keep they would ask him a question about it. They would ask Trump or Hillary a question about it.
Trump will dodge it with nonsense.
Maybe a follow-up question, and then they'd move on. But they wouldn't badger like they do.
Yeah, Trump speaks nonsense, and then they accept it. Hillary pivots, and they accept it. But Gary Johnson can't say anything without them just pushing the issue even more.
Exactly. And that gets to him. You can tell it gets to him. And he finally explodes. And then look, he's crazy, everyone.
Yeah, and I guarantee if Jill Stein was getting more publicity, the same thing would be happening to her.
I actually don't. I agree with you.
I'm not saying she's gonna have the same faults, but they're still gonna try to get her.
No, I don't think
gotcha
she's.
questions.
I don't think she can even handle the questions as well as Gary Johnson can. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's as
Yeah.
Well, because he was actually a governor, so
Yeah.
at least he's got some experience going. He understands the system a bit.
She was an indie songwriter, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. She was an indie songwriter and sang about
Did you watch
whatever
the
that was.
Yes.
the the
It
John
bothered me a
Oliver
bit.
thing? Yeah,
Which
About
what?
it.
the John Oliver.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Usually, I mean, it's so weird for me to see a comedian or anybody talking about issues that I actually laugh at everything they say. Their humor's on point, and I agree with them on everything. So it's great to have it go against something that I agree with. I go, now I see how it's all taken out of context for humor.
Uh-huh.
Like, holy crap! And like, as a liberal person, like
Mhm.
social issues and stuff, I see jokes about conservative issues, and I'm like, yeah, look how stupid the conservatives are. And then when the joke's on me for a libertarian thing, I'm like, oh wait, I get it. This a lot of it's taken out of context for the point of humor or entertainment. And-
Yeah, and it's also
except
like
Trump. Trump's just terrible anyway.
right. Yeah, and it's also like, wait, you didn't even mention really any of the issues.
Yeah, they showed a clip of him talking about which agencies he would get rid of, and he named the three right off the bat: the
Department of Education.
Education.
Department of Labor,
Yeah,
Commerce.
Commerce.
That was
Yeah,
commerce.
Yeah.
I thought it was labor as well.
I thought it was too, but I might be wrong.
I thought it was. It might have been labor. It was either labor or commerce, and then it was
Yeah,
Well,
well,
he's gonna get 3 of them.
yeah.
either way, he named
Mhm.
three right off the bat. They gave him a hard time, like, well, don't they have some important function? He goes, yeah, I'm sure they do. That's why they existed as long as they did. The federal government would still absorb the critical functions that they serve. Well, then why would you get rid of them? Like, that's a dumb question, because clearly the rest of it's trimming the fat.
Right.
We don't need the whole Department of Education, although they do serve proper functions. So you took this
Mhm.
whole thing out of context to make it a joke, when those of us that actually know what he's talking about were like, but he made a good point.
Right, and he did. They didn't even go into it beyond that.
Yeah,
just
they
said,
didn't.
He wants to get rid of the Department of Education, which is alarmist because then people are like, he wants to get rid of the Department of Education. He wants to get rid of schools. Oh my gosh.
He hates the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So that was.
I
thought
get
it was.
it, I
I
get
thought
it.
it was bullshit when it came to that. But the thing of it was with Jill Stein, he was kind of on point with Jill Stein. She is fucking crazy.
JD? You weigh in on that one? Oh, you haven't seen the clip, I don't
I did. I saw
Oh,
the
you
John
did?
Oliver thing.
Okay.
I saw the whole thing. Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. She's- I did vote for her in years past, but now I'm like, and I didn't even vote for her,
hmm
to be honest. I voted because I like the Green Party in general. You know,
Yeah,
they
the
don't take the
platform.
big corporation money, and they are more towards a democratic socialism than the other parties.
hmm
And that's why I voted for her, because she was part of that platform.
Right.
But her in general, like, yeah, she's not very good. She is not very good at all. I can't defend her.
Gary Johnson! Alright, there's three, we're good. Alright, so question.
All right, so we're gonna end it this week with the segment "Mask You Something."
Mask it some.
Mask You Something. So we got 3 questions this week. We'll go around the table. First one: what conspiracy theory do you believe is true and why? So we'll start with our guest, JD.
I didn't know this segment existed until right now. What is happening? All right, what conspiracy theory do I think is true?
Yeah.
Or might be true, or whatever.
Yeah.
What conspiracy theory do I lend credence to and say,
Exactly.
yeah, maybe?
hmm
I guess kind of two. I can say for sure, like JFK being assassinated by someone within the government, I think is a definite possibility.
hmm
Especially when you look at what he was doing. He was making us buddy with Russia during the Cold War.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people that were against that, so I could see him being taken out by someone in the government. So that one, and kind of 9/11, but I'm not like sitting here saying it was Bush. Like, I think something was going down. There's something fishy about it to me. And I know some people say, oh well, it's all been debunked, but I don't. I've seen them say it was debunked.
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
It doesn't, man. It doesn't. It doesn't melt the whole damn structure. Okay.
Thermite paint.
It might.
Possibly. I don't know what happened with everything. I think some of it might have been helped along more than it is led on. Like, I don't think
I will-
that 8 terrorists were magically capable of doing what happened.
I will give credence to a more they didn't know it was gonna happen, but they kind of let things happen.
So like a Pearl Harbor kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but we know something, and we're gonna
I
kind of.
mean,
turn a
like,
blind eye. I can
like
see
the
that.
pilot that pulled off the maneuvers to hit the Pentagon. I mean, the dude failed trying to fly a Cessna. How did he fly a 747?
Luck.
I don't even know if you can be that lucky. I just, but those would be the two, and I'm not even hardcore with the 9/11 one.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there was something more to it than what's being said. I mean, and the investigation was secretive. That's openly known that it was extremely secretive.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Why is it hidden?
A lot of redacted
The FBI admitted that they have 117 different camera angles of the plane that hit the Pentagon when it hit, but they
we
won't
only get
release
one.
them. We got one that was like 4 frames.
Well, dude, I couldn't even take pictures of secure government buildings where I worked on my cell phone.
But I
so-
mean, like, for something that big, that high profile, why
But
did you
yeah.
release one shitty grainy photo?
because if you did high quality, and I'm not trying to debunk you, but if you did high quality photos of multiple angles of the Pentagon, people can use that information to
But
piece together the layout.
If you have
of the Pentagon.
117, and some of the photos that show it came from public buildings like across the street.
Well, those-
Obviously,
yeah.
that was already in access. Why can't you release those?
I'll give you that.
We could have accessed that 7-Eleven across the street anyway. Why don't you just release that photo? Like, what's wrong? And they're like, national security.
National
I can
security.
literally go stand at that 7-Eleven right now and take pictures.
Yeah.
And there isn't shit you could do. Why? So that, to me, that just screams,
Slurpees can't melt steel beams.
Slurpees cannot melt the steel beam. Come
That's
to...
the Halloween costume. 7-Eleven employee.
So that's
That's not
why.
racially
That's
insensitive.
why, because you see that crap, and it's like, what are you really hiding? Like, I just feel like there's something more. What? I don't know. I have no. I'm not gonna sit here like that's conspiracy theory to me. Is to imagine that I know the answer. I don't even have a theory. I have no idea.
I feel like you've been wanting to talk about that for a while, though.
What?
9/11.
Sure. I get maybe. I just think that to say, oh well, it's exactly what they said. Don't even shut up about it. Like, I think that's intellectually dishonest because obviously it's weird. Something's weird. I don't know why
I
it's
agree.
weird, but something is weird about it.
Yeah.
Tycho?
Anyway, sorry.
Ryan?
No problem. For
Yours?
me, I find it odd that maybe not Roswell specifically, but around that time of heightened UFO scares in Roswell, actually specifically,
Mhm.
we somehow got fiber optic cables, and it was such a huge leap in technology at that time that a lot of people point to maybe reverse engineering. And that my grandfather who passed away, he worked at one of those top secret hangars out there.
Mhm.
Not Area 51. I forgot exactly which one.
52?
Or sorry, yeah, not Area 52.
No, it was 50. It was Area 51.
Yeah,
He
okay,
worked
yeah.
in 52.
So well,
That's
no.
what
It was lower
You
down.
Fucking.
Oh, it was,
Alright.
maybe it was Area 43.
It was Area 43. No, it was like Hangar 13. I don't know.
Right.
But he worked at some really top secret place, but never said he worked there. It's one of those places that doesn't exist.
Mm.
And my dad even asked him. He said, before you die, Dad, can you? Not while my grandpa was dying, but he asked him, like, can you just leave it in your will? Just tell me what you know. What did you see? And it was one of those places that was speculated to have aliens, and my grandpa never did it. Never left it in his will. Took it to his grave what he saw there. And so, I mean, that's family history to me. That's just like, maybe there is aliens. In the last 50, 60 years,
Or maybe
technological
your
leaps-
grandfather is a grade A troll.
There's that.
That
There's
seems like a distinct possibility.
I mean, he probably signed a non-disclosure agreement, but everything from his day has already been released as public information.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Aliens, I think we've made contact with something, and
I'm not really sold on that one myself.
yeah, fair enough.
So
I mean, I think it's possible, but I don't really.
I don't know if
For me.
I don't know if I buy into aliens. Like, I don't know.
Okay, I will say this. I think there's aliens out there because,
I mean, it's
oh my gosh,
mathematically, like, it
yeah,
has to be.
like there has to be something else out there. Have we met it yet? That's the one where I'm like, I don't think so, because it is just such a big place out there.
Mhm.
So it's statistically extremely unlikely that we've ever even come close to meeting.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
statistically extremely unlikely that we exist. So
Well, you
That's
could
true.
say that, but we do exist because we are that statistical unlikely.
right, exactly. So it's
I mean, we could have ended up on a different planet and would have been saying the same exact thing. It was statistically unlikely. Well, yeah, of course, it always is.
So it's statistically unlikely times statistically unlikely that another that.
Oh, I'm sure there's
beings
other life
exist.
though. It might even be just bacteria, but it's got to be out
Well,
there somewhere.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
that.
but
But
for human
we're talking
sentient
intelligent life.
But intelligent life, yeah, that's extremely unlikely. Well, I can't even say, because even if it is extremely unlikely, let's say 1 in every 1 trillion stars has a planet that will produce life, and then every 1 in 1 trillion of those produces intelligent life, there's still like a trillion planets with intelligent life. Like, the universe is just that big.
Yeah.
So, they're out there. It's just, I think people think like that aliens are definitely super advanced,
hmm
But we don't.
but
yet.
there's a damn good chance we're the most advanced species in the entire universe. That is
That
a
is
possibility.
scary to fucking think of.
That
But
is
it's possible though. We might be ahead of everyone else. We might be it. We are Star Trek to some other people out there. Like, it might be happening.
Some other planet is getting beams of the Brady Bunch from the 70s.
They're like, oh my god.
holy fucking shit, they're so
Yeah,
advanced.
they just discovered like radio technology and stuff. Like, what is this that we're getting?
The Shadow knows? Holy shit.
This dude is driving around with a computer that talks for him. Holy crap.
Wow.
And he knows physics.
So for me, JD kind of went into it. I gotta go with JFK. Like, I do think that Lee Harvey Oswald did it, but I think he was a patsy. I think that he was used by the government.
And that's why he was assassinated
Yeah,
before
exactly.
he was able to talk.
Because
No loose
if
ends.
if you read into where JFK was on his way to that day, he was on his way to give a speech to increase troop presence in the area of Cuba,
Yeah.
to escalate things around Cuba. So shit was about to go down.
And we didn't have the X-Men First Class there to stop it.
Exactly.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So I believe that the government stepped in
Well,
to stop.
he was, because he might have been escalating things in Cuba. But it's weird because also he was working on merging our space program with the Russians. The Russians were in open talks with him.
Did you read that on the Russian tampered WikiLeaks?
Sputnik.
No, this wasn't even a leak. It was.
Well, this was back
I know,
during
I'm
Better
joking.
Red
I
Than
know.
Dead days, or Better Dead Than Red.
Yeah,
days.
well, yeah, this was like the peak of the Cold War, and he was actually, after the Cuban Missile Crisis, was in talks with them to say, look, if we merge our space programs, work together, we'll accomplish more, we'll increase relations, and people will calm down about this whole Cold War thing.
And I think that what he was going to do in Cuba was going to blow that to hell.
It might have, but when they killed JFK, the Russian prime minister, whatever they called him at the time, I don't remember, the Russian leader at the time, Lyndon B. Johnson came to him and said, all right, do you still want to go through with this deal? And he said, no, we don't trust you. We trusted JFK. We're out. And then the Cold War continued.
Yeah.
And that could have been a side effect of that.
I mean,
That
the
could
Cold-
have been an
There might have been an unexpected consequence, possibly.
unexpected consequence. Like, they didn't realize that taking out JFK, that they didn't realize that JFK was the guy with the high charisma stat.
Yeah. He was rolling hard 20s all day.
We had to wait, 20 years until we had David Hasselhoff with the high charisma stat to sing at the Berlin Wall. And that's when it was torn down.
Right,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
Jump in my car.
right. David
I can't
Hasselhoff.
stop this feeling deep inside of me. Thanks, Hasselhoff.
An American hero.
And a German hero.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask him, he's the one that said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
So, next question would be, what 4 people would be on your personal Mount Rushmore?
Do I have to go first to let JD think?
Yeah, you have to go
Damn it.
first.
Well, I got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Walt Disney
Okay.
and Stan Lee.
Okay.
I would say Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And not even ironically.
Not even ironically.
Not even ironically.
Holy fucking shit.
Because I admire men and women, anybody who can take an idea, and Walt Disney knew animation could be more than what it was at the time. He knew they could be full-length featured movies that were not just cute and fun, but had story that could move people. And he created not just a movie empire, moved on to theme parks. He designed what is the hubs for theme parks now. That was a Walt Disney design, personal design, not even an engineer. That was Walt Disney saying, this is how the park should be, with these hubs that have themes to it within the overall theme of Magic Kingdom. And I find these visionaries fascinating. Stan Lee, he wrote cheesy comic books that were being made at the time. He worked for whatever Marvel was called before. I'm blanking out.
Timely.
What?
Timely.
Yeah. And they were basically following the trends. If a Western was big, Marvel or Timely at the time would publish a Western. About a year after it was big, they missed the mark. And as they were failing, he got put Fantastic Four.
Right.
And he made what comic books are known as today. He is the god, or he is the father of comic books. Well, him and Jack Kirby, don't get me wrong. Jack Kirby's my third. Stanley and Jack Kirby. Why did I'm sorry, I didn't mean to discredit the Kirby Foundation. And then Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he came into an era where wrestling was all territorial, and he saw the bigger picture. Wrestling could be a worldwide unified phenomenon, and you didn't have to have promotion specific to only the South or only New York or only on the West Coast. You could have a giant worldwide promotion. And look at what WWE is today. People in India believe in WWE. Like, it's huge over there. And just worldwide, they sell out Tokyo Dome even. And they have their own award-winning network, as they like to remind me all the fucking time on the network. But no, they branched off, and Vincent Kennedy McMahon had a vision and made it something as huge as it is. And so that's what I like, because that's what I want to do. I want to be that for online comic books.
Okay.
It's still a fresh Wild West out there, and it's not gained the traction it should have. I want to be the guy that says online comic books are just as good as any other comic book story, if not better. Better access. So that's it. And then I'll be the fifth face up there eventually.
JD, what do you know who you would put up on your personal Mount
I got some
Rushmore?
ideas. I got some ideas here.
Okay.
I would probably have Einstein with his crazy hair.
Okay.
Because he advanced our understanding of physics and the universe, which is awesome. And I'm going like a totally different route than you.
No, that's fine. And also, you get his hair in that month.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That goofy hair, you get that all over the place. That's excellent. Good luck to the architect. I don't know. Who else? Probably Bill Nye.
The science guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill Nye.
Well, you have to clarify. Bill Nye the Science Guy or Bill Nye Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean?
No,
That's
Bill Nye.
Nighy.
Oh, come on. It's Bill Nye. We all know it.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Just because also, I mean, he didn't advance science. He's not that great of a scientist, but
He advanced learning.
yes, he advanced learning. He got a lot of kids interested in science.
I was always a Beekman's World guy.
I'd never even seen that.
Is that
Really?
the British equivalent?
No, Beekman's World and Bill Nye the Science Guy were kind of like, I don't know.
You were-
Beekman's World was always
Wait,
like
that
the,
actually is kind of familiar. Let me...
You were homeschooled. You don't count.
Beekman's World was like the weird version of Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Oh, yeah,
None
that
of us-
guy. No.
None of us in the public school system actually watched Bill Nye on TV. We all watched it because it was on Classroom.
I was one of the weird kids that did find him on TV.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, I know I wasn't. Yeah, I remember this Beekman's World. Didn't like him. Bill was awesome.
Fine, whatever.
Fuck your opinions, John.
Yeah, fuck my opinion. Who else would I put up there? I don't even know. I mean, who? Probably George Lucas. Just for
Really?
just for bringing me Star Wars.
And the prequels.
I know.
the prequels?
I know. I accept them for what they are and the horrible mess. But without the originals, we wouldn't have Star Wars, and that's about it. I love Star Wars. I love the originals. The prequels, they're like the ugly children I have to accept. But yeah, he brought Star Wars, which just opened up a lot in the sci-fi realm in general. I mean, he really pushed the envelope with that original series, or the original 3, and showing people what could be done on screen and what storytelling could be like in a sci-fi universe. And it inspired a lot of people to make today what is standard sci-fi, which I love. I love sci-fi. So. For that, yes. For the prequels, I think he should just go away, which I'm glad that he no longer has control of Star Wars, because holy crap, George. You bastard. What did you do?
Too far. Too far, George.
Oh, the horrible dialogue in those movies. Oh, I don't
It's
even
like
know
sand.
who would
It's
be my
rough
fourth.
and coarse.
It's so rough and coarse.
Gets everywhere.
But I mean, like,
but it's
have you
so-
ever had sex on the beach? Because Anakin's
Look, I'm
not wrong.
I'm not saying
He's
he's
not
wrong.
wrong.
He's absolutely 100% correct. But damn it, it's not a romantic thing to tell. Like, let me describe sand in your vagina real quick, and let's see where this goes. Like,
Are you turned on now?
Are you feeling
You like my creepy stare?
it? I mean, even Natalie Portman, she's a talented actress. She's
Not
good.
really.
I think she's pretty good. She's done well
She's
in
been
other
nominated
movies.
for Academy Awards.
Okay.
She's pretty good. I've seen her in other movies. In Star Wars, though, when you have dialogue that, like, I think even Samuel L. Jackson was feeling a little cheesy, okay? Like, no one could make that
Samuel
dialogue.
L. Jackson hated those movies so much he threw himself out a fucking window.
He was just like, you want to do what to me?
Samuel L. Jackson doesn't believe he's dead.
This is true.
That's
This is
true.
He
true.
wants to come back in the
Mhm.
He is
sequel.
ascribing to the idea that, because it's true, no Jedi has died from falling,
That's true.
ever.
That is true.
But who would I put up as my fourth? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna say John Bon Jovi. There we go. I'm just gonna slap him up
What
there.
a
the
great
mountain of
rock.
butt rock.
Just-
Oh yes.
Just slap him up there.
hold on.
And I want that
Ready
song.
or not.
I want that song blasting on loudspeakers over my Mount Rushmore. Gonna make it.
Are we gonna build our Mount Rushmores in North Dakota still? Because I think the pipeline might destroy it.
I want my Mount Rushmore on top of Trump Tower.
There you go. What about you, Josh?
Well, my Mount Rushmore would be Frank Sinatra,
Ooh,
Okay.
Patrice O'Neill,
that makes sense.
Orson Welles, and Quentin Tarantino.
Not Harambe.
Not Harambe.
I should have put Harambe as my fourth.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra, just because he is absolutely legendary. In every, not just in music, but in movies and in TV. And I don't know if you know about how much of a SJW he kind of was in his day.
Yeah.
He, back in the day when he would travel with Sammy Davis and that kind of thing, if they wouldn't book Sam too, he wouldn't play there ever again. If they wouldn't allow Sam into the club when he was playing there, he wouldn't play there ever again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I love the story about
That's awesome.
his always having a roll of quarters.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, he was kind of a piece of shit. He couldn't keep his dick in his pants to save his fucking soul.
Well,
He cheated on every woman he ever was with.
when you're Frank Sinatra, though,
Yeah,
Oh my
you
gosh.
knew what you were marrying when you got into
so
it.
much pussy was getting thrown at him. Like,
All I could do was grab it.
same with Patrice O'Neill, one of the biggest piece of shit ever to live. One of the worst men. Oh, just one of the worst. But he was a fucking modern day philosopher.
Oh, absolutely.
Modern day philosopher. From the History of the World Part 1, he said he was a stand-up philosopher. That's actually what I think of Patrice O'Neill as.
Yeah.
He was a stand-up philosopher. Orson Welles was fucking not only legendary in movies, but he was in radio. He was a fucking god. Radio. He, like, people know Citizen Kane and all that, but
Yeah.
The Shadow, if you go back and listen to his work in The Shadow, if you go back and listen to War of the Worlds, it blows everything, like, it blows Citizen Kane out of the water.
Yeah.
His stuff from the radio.
I've actually on my little radio thing I have, they do have the old recordings of like sci-fi radio from back in the day.
Yeah.
I love listening to Orson Welles
Mm-hmm.
and like War of the Worlds
Yeah,
was
yeah.
phenomenal.
Now that the funny thing about that, the panic that caused was
Yeah.
actually way overblown. It didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a couple people that called in,
Right.
but that was it.
Yeah. The newspaper writings and all that the people said happened with the mass hysteria never happened.
Yeah.
It never happened, which is kind of sad because I really kind of wanted it to happen.
Yeah, you wanted it to be like, nobody knew.
Because it really did sound realistic
Yeah.
when you listen to it. It
Oh, yeah,
really
absolutely.
sounded real. And Quentin Tarantino, and it's going to sound stupid fucking cliche for me with being a film guy, but he really has kind of given me a great understanding of what you can do with film.
Mm-hmm.
Just between like the greatest experience I have ever had in a movie theater was when Grindhouse came out.
Oh,
When in
Grindhouse was so
2007,
good.
it was, to this day, I have never had, even going to see Hateful Eight in
Did you see the midnight showing of Grindhouse?
no.
Oh,
No.
okay. I was gonna see if you were there
It was
at
a
the same
better
time.
better experience than that. I'll tell you in a second. But even seeing Hateful Eight, the road show, the 70mm road show, it was better than that.
I
But
didn't get to see that.
I did get to see that. It was great, but I got to see Grindhouse by myself
Really?
in a theater. It was completely empty. It was like a 10 a.m. showing.
Yeah.
Completely empty theater.
Best time to go.
Exactly. By myself. And I have never had a better time in a movie. Like, and that's why I don't understand why that movie did so poorly. I understand it was high concept and
Yeah.
like that
It was.
kind of thing.
It was a lot of people didn't understand what was happening.
Didn't get it.
Yeah.
They just didn't get it. But it was so much fun.
Can I just say though, I am really happy that we got Machete the movie.
Yes.
That was my favorite trailer in the whole thing. I think all of them were great, but Machete stood out. And when they were like, we're just gonna fucking make it a movie, I was like, yes, Danny Trejo, the star of my life. If I die, I want him to play me in a movie.
Danny
It's never
Trejo.
gonna
Actually,
happen.
you know what? If I could put a fifth person up there, Danny Trejo would be.
Oh.
He is one of the greatest people ever.
Did you hear about when he was filming the Muppets movie?
No. Oh wait, yeah, no, I heard
yeah.
about that.
His mother passed away, and Danny Trejo. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a big tough guy, and he wanted to keep playing up that he's a tough guy, and people would give their condolences, and he'd say thank you. And when Kermit the Frog came up to him as Kermit and said, "I'm really sorry for your loss," like or whatever, he broke down and cried, and just gave Kermit a big hug. And that may sound crazy to people, but anybody that's ever worked in the Muppets has all said, like, you know, Jason Segel even said in an interview, it's weird at the first couple days of filming, but after you get used to it, no, you're not talking to the guy that's moving puppets, or, moving Kermit's mouth. You're talking to Kermit.
Right.
And you really take it into those are the actual things.
Yeah, no, that's... And when you're working with puppets like that, I can understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I could even think like,
well, the Muppet
because of how much Muppets was part of so many childhoods, even maybe a little bit when he was younger.
That's probably why he broke
maybe
down.
a tied mother, memory with his mom, and it just like took him back to something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm assuming happened. Still, I mean, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Yeah, I love he used to be a gangbanger, and now he is he's a registered interventionist.
Yeah.
That is the greatest thing to me.
Yeah, I think Danny Trejo's an amazing human being.
He really is.
Actually, I had forgot, but I remembered who my fourth is going to be. It's not going to be John Bon Jovi.
Who's that?
I just want to correct it real quick. Christopher Hitchens would
Okay.
be my fourth man up on my little carving
Okay.
of people. You guys don't like Christopher Hitchens?
I
see a shoulder shrug and what does that mean?
No, I like him to some extent. But I've seen him do his piece where he goes a little bit too far. I've seen him talk to a school board leader who was talking about how they wanted to promote education first. They were a Christian school, but education came first. And he still kept pressuring them and telling them they were wrong to even bring religion. And he's like, but I care about science and math more than I care about religion, but it's still a Christian school. So that's my only issue with it, is seeing him go too far.
And that, like, piggybacking on that, I am a Christian, and that, like, him being too antagonistic like that is my only problem.
But not
I
to
like
say
him
you're
because
wrong.
I just liked his vocality. Vocality, is that even a word?
It is now.
Vocality is now a word.
His vocality.
I don't think you realize that Webster actually listens to this podcast. And makes his dictionaries based off us.
Outstanding. I've just done it then. I have made my mark.
You've done it.
No, I like that he's vocal against a lot of the injustices.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, he was very articulate. He was very good in most of his arguments.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that particular one.
His debates are amazing, but his investigative whatever he does, that was what got.
I never saw the exact thing you're talking about. I've never seen it. I'm not discrediting it or anything. I'm just I have not seen that one.
I had the same views of him before that too. I was like, oh, he's the greatest thing in the world, but then I kind of saw he just sometimes takes it a step.
He's a little too dogged for my taste, but I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
saying
I
you're
appreciate.
wrong.
I was like, because also
I
he
might
was
shit on your wall, but
in an. By all means, I don't give a damn. It's rocks. Let's be real.
He's just gonna take a big,
Fine, I'm gonna see
big
it and
old
be like,
squat on your Mount
yeah,
Rushmore.
I'm
That'll,
gonna shit on it, and then you're just gonna pressure wash it away.
that'll be gone the next time it rains. It's fine. Let it bake a little bit. It's whatever. 100%. I don't get why people get so mad about that. It's a symbol and it's gonna get cleaned. I don't understand why do you care so much about it. It's a rock. It's gonna be fine.
I got a rock. So yeah. Did you guys want to say anything else before we move on to the last question?
Paranormal
Okay.
activity.
Okay. So last question. Before we wrap things up this week. Because this is coming out on Halloween.
Because it's Halloween today.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, time traveled again.
Yeah. I wanted to ask the final question for this week. Have you ever had a paranormal encounter? And
You want to
would
start
you
this one?
relay that to us?
You start this one, Josh.
I have had a paranormal encounter. It was very interesting. I was driving home from work one night, and I was driving past a gated community. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. I was driving past a gated community, and the gate was closed. And as I was driving by, there was a little girl, like in a Easter dress, you know, like a
Yeah.
nice frilly full Easter dress, and a big frilly floppy hat, just skipping back and forth, but like in front of the gate, just back and forth. And then I drove by, and I'm like, wait, did I really just see that? And then I looked back, and she was gone.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
Some little chick hid in the bushes and freaked you out.
And she remembers the look on your face to this day.
How many years ago was this?
Oh, it was probably 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, she's telling
she's
stories
like
at
in middle
school.
school now. Yeah. You can't believe this fat fuck that I pulled.
The look on his face.
I think I almost gave him a fucking heart attack. You should have seen him
He almost
slam on the brakes.
What a fuck.
Idiot.
No, that's really creepy. I don't know.
All right,
JD,
who's,
you got
who's
it?
next? You want me? Want me to go?
Yeah, I mean, if you got a bad one, I'll follow it up with some good ones. Like,
What does that mean? He already doesn't like my story. I need counseling.
no, I love these. These are my
Oh.
favorite. We could do a whole
All right.
podcast just telling
Now
paranormal
I am.
crazy stories.
I gotta tell you this right now. I wouldn't make this up. I am super skeptical.
Mhm.
I don't think there are spirits.
Christopher Hitchens is on your Rushmore. You don't need
Yeah,
to really
exactly.
know.
I don't really have to say much.
much.
But this legit happened, and I cannot explain it. When I lived in a house here, everything was normal in the house, but one day after a hurricane, the vent got ripped off the roof, so we had to cover it with a tarp. So, but it made the AC in the ceiling stay there. It got stuck,
Right.
so the temperature wasn't regulated. It got cold, ceiling would creak, because of the cold air,
Right.
which was fine. But one night I woke up, middle of the night, and the creaking was going on all in my room. And it was loud.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on? This is like abnormally loud. Maybe the AC's turned up or something. It's a cool night. That's what
Right.
I'm thinking. So I get up, though, to go to the bathroom. So I walk over to the bathroom, and when I got out of my room, I realized it was only my room. The rest of the house was dead silent.
Whoa.
So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, now I'm actually getting like chills right now just remembering this damn story. I'm serious. I walk into the bathroom, shut the door, and all of a sudden I heard the creaking slow down. I could hear it from like around the corner
Yeah.
in my room, still going. All of a sudden it was like creak, creak, creak. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, creak, 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 right down the hallway.
It fucking followed
It came
you.
into the fucking bathroom, okay? And it's creak, 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 creak. I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden it went creak, 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 right above my head, and wham! Like something punched the ceiling, and the creaking stopped. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like my bowels evacuated. Fortunately, I was on a toilet. I was like,
shit in the middle of the night.
Holy
I was like, oh shit, what the
wow,
fuck?
It's a good thing you were sitting there.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. Oh, so I got up, finished my stuff, went into my room. I just ran in my room. I'm like, all right, it's just the ceiling being weird. But then I realized the creaking was still not going. It was silent again. And all of a sudden I'm laying in my bed and I hear creak, 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 right down the damn hallway, right back into my room. And my room's going crazy again. And I'm like, what the shit is this? And all of a sudden, it went creak, 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 wham, right above my head in my room, and stopped. Didn't creak the rest of the night.
Did you check to see if your brothers were there?
No, it was a small crawl space.
Oh.
Sean was actually asleep in my room at that time.
Why didn't you wake him the fuck up?
I didn't want to. I was just like, no, I'm done.
Dude.
I'm not dragging anyone else into this.
Ah.
But it gets better because I proved that it was following me alone. So there was only one section of the house that had the attic. The rest of it was just a roof. There was no like crawl space or anything. So actually it was Ashley who was over. And I told her about it. I'm like, it was creaking like crazy, and I wasn't on that side of the house, which is typically when the creaking went crazy, is when I wasn't on that side of the house. I'm like, all right, just watch this. Just watch. This thing follows me. And she was like, all right. So I walked down to the end of the hallway, and she was on the other end where there was no attic, waiting. So I walked down, and I stopped, and I'm like, all right, now wait. And she was like, okay. And then creak, 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 right on down the hallway, and it stopped above my head. And she was like, well, maybe it's because of your weight and the floor and everything. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great. I was like, that's a great idea. Come on down the hallway, stand next to me for a moment. So she does. She walks down the hallway, comes next to me, stops. Nothing. I waited a solid minute waiting. Nothing. No noise. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go over to the laundry room right over there. So I walked over to the laundry room, stood there for a moment. I'm like, give it a few seconds. All of a sudden, right above her head, it started and walked right down, right over to me. Stopped. And she was like, what the fuck? She got out. She ran away. And it was like that the rest of the time we lived there. It would just follow me in that section of the house. I have no idea what the hell that was.
That's weird.
And when it punched the ceiling, like, I'm serious, it was loud. It like, wham, like someone punched the ceiling.
Wow.
Yeah. That freaks me out. I
That
have
is
no idea.
freaky as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shit on that.
No. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, let's see you beat that, Ryan.
Won't beat it. Might tie it. I don't know. So, back in high school, a few of my friends and I got into the whole graveyard bullshit.
Okay.
We like to go to graveyards in the middle of the night.
Uh-huh.
Not necessarily for paranormal, but because we thought we were edgy and cool, and it was creepy as fuck, regardless of paranormal or not. Graveyards and that are creepy. We had a few experiences of which I won't go into because, like I said, we could fill an entire podcast with me telling paranormal stories.
Right.
A few experiences at this one called Crooked Mile. We ended up going one time to where my grandfather is buried, and I went over to where I thought his gravestone was. All I remembered hadn't been there in a couple years. All I remember was that there were two palm trees that jut out, and he was by the side of the road because my grandpa did not want to pay for one inside, like too far into the graveyard because they were more expensive. He was not part of the Jewish Mafia. He was Irish as fuck. So I go over. I'm with these friends, and we walk over to two palm trees. I look down. It's not my grandfather's grave. So I hear a cricket chirping. We live in Florida. There's crickets, there's chirping, there's everything. I hear one in this entire graveyard, and for some reason I felt obligated to follow it. Were you with us? You went to Crooked Mile at least, JD. No?
No, I didn't go into it. I know you guys went. You invited me to go.
You didn't go?
I didn't ever actually go.
So this isn't Crooked Mile, but I walk over to where I hear the cricket chirping. When I get to exactly where the cricket's chirping, it stops. That's what they do. I'm standing on my grandfather's grave. Well, next to it. Well, not walking on any graves. But I'm standing right next to my grandfather's grave. And I look down, my friends came over, I introduced them. Hey, these are my friends, blah, blah, blah. Love you, Grandpa. Really miss you a lot. And I see the flowers in his vase swaying in the wind. I realize there's no wind.
Oh.
And I look around, and there's palm trees everywhere. Nothing's moving, just his flowers. And we left, and that was not scary. It was...
Right.
But my cousin Chris was in town from New York, and I had another friend, Jason, and they wanted to do the crazy graveyard stuff. Said, I've had some experiences. Let's go to my grandfather's grave.
Uh-huh.
So we go. We feel safe. We feel not like freaked out where we're near my grandpa.
Right.
We walk a little bit farther, and we start to feel eerie.
Okay.
We're standing on the edge of where we start to feel creeped out and where we feel safe, and we're standing, or my cousin goes to sit on a bench, and I think, stop, that's a child's gravestone. And we look, and it was a child, 7 years old, he died. And there's little toy cars all around, and we're standing there talking around his grave, and we see a toy car roll. This freaks us out a little bit, but we're like, it's a child. If it is a ghost, maybe he just wants a friend. So I roll it back, and it rolls, and I roll it back, and that was it. I felt, okay, I just played with a child ghost. That's weird, but
right, yeah.
We're standing and talking, and my cousin freaks out.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, what? He's like, something just touched my shoulder. I was like, you're standing next to a tree. Calm it down, dude.
Yeah,
Calm it down.
yeah.
I'll stand there if you're that freaked out, because his back was to the gravestone.
Right.
The graveyard. My cousin Chris, by the way, is a shorter fella.
Okay.
So I'm standing there, I'm like, I'll have my back to it, that's fine. I feel a tug on my back pocket.
Jeez, I'm fucked.
And that's when we're like, okay, so we're exploring around. Sorry, this is going on a little bit. We're exploring around, we see a light off in the distance that blinks up, blinks in, blinks out. It's clearly a ghost, and we have to follow it. So we start running down, we get all the way down, there's this little dip in a hill, and then like a little circle, and we get all the way down there, we actually get right on top of it, the fucking firefly. We're dumbass guys running into this graveyard in the middle of the night chasing a fucking firefly. So we start walking back, and we hit this curve, and it goes up the hill, and then you turn right, and you're walking back to the car, and we hear
Fucking Jason.
splash, splash, splash in the puddles in the graveyard, and we're like, what the fuck? We start running. We turn around, we're like, you know what? No, fuck this. We're three dudes. If this is like some homeless guy, I have my keys out in my hand, like I'm gonna like punch.
Like fucking Wolverine.
Yeah, my cousin Chris carried mace with him, and Jason had a fucking baton. We're taking out homeless people or whoever's gonna come after us right now. We hear it get louder. Splash, splash, splash. Train off in the distance. We hear it come around the corner, lights up the entire graveyard, which we're Florida, it's flat. Nothing in the entire graveyard. All right, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Wow.
That's pretty creepy.
Can I get one more? Or?
Yeah, please.
All right. So, and I swear to God, my mom's house is haunted.
Okay.
I don't believe in God, so I swear to Thor. My mom's house was haunted. 2 people died in it. It's in my high school yearbook that you can clearly see this quote. One man died while falling off a ladder in the garage and cracked his head and died. The other man was painting a fence right outside the garage, which was also outside my bedroom window, and he died of a heart attack.
So both of them happened outside the house.
Yeah, the garage, which by the way, the garage and my room had a parallel wall.
All right, but they both happened outside the house.
Outside the house.
So they're not haunting the house.
They're not haunting the house, correct?
They're haunting the grounds.
Yes.
Okay.
And in my room, I never felt comfortable.
Okay.
I had always assumed I was a chicken shit. And that I didn't like being alone in the dark, whatever it was. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just a nervous person. And I can guarantee that I still am a little bit nervous, but now I'm not nervous about paranormal. I'm nervous about someone breaking into my fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
But back then it was paranormal. And so, who knows? There was one time where I heard the side door that led from the yard to the garage. It was always locked from the inside, but you could open it from the inside and go out. And I heard it open, or I didn't hear it open, but I heard it slam shut.
Okay.
And I got freaked out, so I went and woke my stepdad up. I was like, someone's in our garage. We go out, we investigate, nothing. Couple weeks, maybe even months go by, and I hear things. I hear tapping on my wall. It's just things moving in the wall. I hear creaking, not like yours, but it's just the house settling in the wind.
Right.
One night I hear that thing open and close on the door again. All right, I'm not waking Rich up for this again. I look like an idiot. I hear my mom's car doors open and shut. Now I'm freaking and about to get up and run down the hall. I hear the recycling bins being there was a certain sound when you dragged them, and you hear the cans rattling in there, and you hear the plastic. I hear that being dragged, and then almost like cans spilling everywhere. So I run and go, Rich, I think there's raccoons or something. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm hearing noises, and he knows I've been awake for long enough, and he's seeing that this isn't me making it up. This isn't a dream. So we go out there and we check again. Doors shut, everything's in place. Freaked out. I go out one night a few months later, and I come home late at night, and the whole night I had felt this weird feeling like I was high. And at the time I wasn't even smoking weed, but I can relate back. That's how I felt. I was high at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I get back home, and all of a sudden, walking through the garage and back into the house, my mind cleared all of a sudden. And it was late, so I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, and I'm making myself a bowl of cereal. And I hear the door to the garage. Again, it's one of those that you can open it from the inside, but it's locked on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it open and shut, and I hear footsteps in the foyer, and I think, good, my stepdad's up, I need to ask him a question anyways. So I go, nothing there. And that was the last
Wow.
experience that I personally had in that house before I went to college.
Do we got time real quick?
Sure.
I got a couple. They're pretty quick.
Yeah.
One of them, I was about 8. I attribute this one to possibly me being tired. I'm not sure. But it's probably the damn creepiest thing that happened. Even worse than the damn creaking in the ceiling.
Wow.
For me, because of how much it freaked me out. Because I was like, so little. The other one, I was a teen, I'm 17. This one, I was like 7, 8. And I was laying in bed, just trying to go to sleep. And I rolled over, and, I'm back against the wall now. I had my back against the room, roll over, looking out in my room now. And I swear, there was this dude in a black trench coat with a black hat, like checking out my TV, like touching it. And I just laid there staring, just watching it.
Right.
And he didn't go away. I mean, I blinked real quick, nothing. He didn't go away. I'm like, what the hell? There's some dude in my room looking at my damn TV. What's going on? And then he looked over at me, and I shut my eyes. I was like, no, it's not real. It's not real. I got my eyes closed. And the eyes are closed. I fucking open them. He's right here, like an inch from my face, looking at me, like he was looking at my TV. And I just shut my eyes, and I didn't open them again the rest of the night. I just laid there.
Jeez.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell that was. That freaked me out. Like, I don't even know how I laid there with my eyes shut and didn't move.
Yeah.
The rest of the night, just laid there like that.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, and then there was another one. This was recent, actually. This was only 3 years ago or so in the house I'm in now, in my room. I don't know what it was that night, but I couldn't get to sleep because people were tickling me. Like, I could feel people grabbing at my ribs. And, like, I would wake up. At one point, I remember waking up, and I saw, like, 6 people over me, like, grabbing at me. And I kept, like, shoving sheets and stuff. At one point, there was someone in my bed with me. Like an old woman in my bed with me.
Yeah,
and there was like, yeah, buddy. All right.
It's like The Shining.
And like they just kept messing the whole night. I didn't sleep hardly at all because these people just kept like poking me and tickling me and stuff. I have no idea what that was. Maybe I was just tired having one of those nights. But like I could feel the grabbing at my ribs and my stomach and like, the pushing and the poking.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Non paranormal, but I was laying in bed. This is back when I was living in Maryland. I was laying in bed, and in the middle of the night, I wake up to loud bang, and then the sound like whirring. What the fuck? And I sleep naked. So this is where I learned my fight. This is where I learned my fight or flight response.
Yeah.
I go running down my stairs, going, hey! Scrawny naked white dude. I figure I'm scaring someone out of my house. Turns out the ceiling collapsed because we had a busted pipe and it flooded. But that is the day that I learned. If some crazy shit is happening to me, I'm not hiding, I'm not running. I'm going at it.
You're
full
fighting
blast.
naked.
I'm fighting naked. Someone's going down. You got a gun?
Okay. Similar thing happened to me and a friend. We were in we were in the basement chilling, and all of a sudden we heard this bang, bang, bang. And I was like, "Oh shit, someone's in the house!" So, like in the basement with us, there was an outside entrance into the basement. So I'm like, someone just came barreling through that back door. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So we sit there for a moment, like, shit, what was it? I don't know. I don't hear anything now. All right, get something. So we look in the room. I think I don't remember. We grabbed blunt objects, whatever we could to swing with. And we're like, all right, we're going to go through that door. We're just going to go fucking ham. Okay, you ready? All right, go. We go out the door. And I'm like, don't make noise, though. Like, if they don't spot us or something, just like, go in there hard. Just be ready. We go in and we're ready. We're pre-swinging around every corner. Yeah, like one of the shelving things collapsed.
Oh, I think that's how we'll end it this week.
Yeah. Give you the creepiness and then end it on, we're all fucked.
All right. Well, I do want to thank JD for joining us this week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me, guys.
And as always, thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm Ryan now.
Yeah, you are.
I have an identity.
You do. Your name.
I'm still at Tyco Resinski on Twitter.
You are still at Tyco Resinski.
And I still have only 30 porn account followers.
Yeah, you can find us online, facebook.com/untitled nonsense, twitter.com/UN_podcast, soundcloud.com/macabre-prods, youtube.com user macabre prods. There you go. And
I'm now an ad. I can edit our UN page.
you
on
are an
Facebook.
admin on the Facebook page
I
now.
am.
Yeah.
So get
Ooh.
ready for the shit storming that's about to happen. I'm gonna shit post all of the Marvel memes.
I can't wait myself.
All right, so we will be back next week with an episode right before the election.
Yeah, we'll have 2 more episodes of talking about politics the way that we have been.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then it'll be
the,
done.
The pre-election and the post-election.
Yep.
And
And
then
then-
we can
Mhm.
just make fun of President Trump for the rest of the 4 years.
Oh, I fucking hope not. Oh, I
Gosh,
fucking hope not. Dear gosh, don't you put that evil on us.
it makes me sick thinking about both of them. To
There's
be
a
honest.
guy that's predicted the last 30 years, and he still says Trump. And they came back after Trump's made all those remarks, and they said, "You still want to keep your vote for Trump?" And he goes, "I'll double down on it."
Oh, don't you put that
He's
evil
got
on us.
every single election right for the last 30 years.
Yeah, well, there was this college that got one right for like the last 20, and they said it was going to be Bernie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So all bets are off on this one.
Yeah. We're just all fucked this time around.
All
Gary
right.
Johnson at the 4th tonight. I'm bringing it back. Home run on the Gary Johnson train.
Get just back.
All right. Thank you for listening. We'll be back here next week
Later.
on an all new Untitled Nonsense.